ones, like Black Ops, God of War.
Good evening, everybody. These guys are just chatting away.
Hi.
Hi. They've been chatting this whole time. That's okay. I was away and I came back and I was like, all right. But I welcome everybody back to the show, back to Kdog After Dark. I am, of course, your host, KdogAfterDark. Tonight, I am joined by two amazing people, two really good friends of mine. Of course, co-host this evening. I got this down now. Co-host this evening is the lovely JoJo Says Breed. JoJo, wave. Ryan, don't wave. Let's do that. And of course, a special guest tonight is going to be Ryan Uzumaki, Mr. Fall Guys himself. How many wins are you up to in that fucking game at this point?
151 as of last checking.
Jesus Christ. As of last checking. There might be like 7 more. I don't know. 200 times you lost to hackers or something else, that should have been wins, I'm sure.
Actually, luckily, only like once or twice.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's such an issue. But we'll be talking about Fall Guys and a couple things later on in the show. So thank you, Ryan, for being here. A little bit before we get started, guys, as always, thank you, everybody, for being here. If you're not familiar with the show, very simply, it's news and gaming news, a little bit of techie news depending on what's going on. We try not to get too technical, but gaming and streaming news going on in the industry. As always, I like to say, as we're getting into it, if there's anything that we miss in chat, we love you guys, we appreciate you, but if there is something that we don't respond to right away, it's simply because we are recording and doing the show, so we might type in chat, all of us might just type in chat and respond to you guys, but we don't really want to cut each other off too much. I mean, we will a lot of times, but we try not to do it too much. So we see you, we love you, we appreciate you, but if we don't respond, we apologize, but we do see it, I promise. There is also the section of the Discord if there is anything that we miss topic-wise that you want a little bit more kind of clarification on or anything like that. There's links up there, and also a Q&A section that we touch base back on at the end of the show for you guys. If anything that we missed, you want a little bit more info and that on. There we go. There's all the little asterisk side effects and all that they do and all the lovely other commercials. Getting right into the show. As we're going, talk a little bit. Ryan, like I said, Mr. Fall Guys himself, all Mario Party. This guy is like literally Pummel Party. If you want a ringer, if you want to like invite somebody over to your friends, be like, all right, this guy, he's gonna play for me or something like that. Like anything to do with what I've played Pummel Party with you, absolutely got creamed because I've only played that a couple times. But like, what else is there? Like, I mean, right now, obviously, Fall Guys is your main game. I hope with 150 wins, because I mean, if you're playing that part-time and you have that many wins, then fuck you. All right, just gonna come out and say that. Like what else? Obviously Destiny, right?
Yeah, I haven't been on Destiny in a little bit though, but simply because of Fall Guys, and I'm just like, when the release got moved, I'm like, I'm gonna more grind towards like November. So yeah, that I've started playing that Among Us because everyone's been having a go. I was like, what's this? And then I've been sucked into that like the past 3 days.
I've been wanting to play Among Us actually. JoJo, you have that also, right? Don't you? Didn't I see you playing it?
I think I was one of the people that played it before it started blowing up. I played it with Renee like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and then it like blew up like about 2 weeks ago, kinda. I remember seeing you guys playing it, and I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. I was like, all right, I think this will be kind of cool to check out. And then it like blew up.
It's crossplay also.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's crossplay.
Yeah, you can play with mobile. Yep, and everything.
Oh, nifty! I did not know that. That's kind of cool to know. There's a kitty. Hold on, wait. You guys, like, hold on. We're gonna. This is what I have right now. Like, she's like right in the. Woo. All right. Anyways. Back to Webshow. I can't see my buttons, cat. Like literally, she's sitting in front of like all my hotkeys and my stream deck. So, anyways, yeah, I've been wanting to check that out. Actually, I don't own it, but I need you need a group of people to play it with, But you got to set that up like ahead of time, like 110%, so that way you make sure that you have it all set up. What else? Why Ryan Uzumaki? I always think like Uzu. And that's like what I like. Where did the name come from? Like,
so Uzumaki is actually the last name of Naruto.
Okay.
And so back when I made my Xbox Live account, I called myself. I was a big fan of Naruto back in 2008, which is when I made it. So I was Ryan Uzumaki 22. And I kind of became known online like through Xbox with that and other places. So I'm like, when I created my Mixer account, I was like, well, I was going to Ryan Uzumaki 22 as well because it's my Xbox game tag. And then it stuck, and then I started streaming, and I'm just like, I'll drop the 22, but keep the Uzumaki. And so, like, just the fact that I've had it for like 12 years as my name, I'm just like, I'm gonna keep it. And yeah, but then you always get the questions like people recognize it as being Naruto. It's like, oh, you watch Naruto? And I'm like, I haven't for years. But I just, yeah, it's just my names at this point. So
I get that kind of question a lot. You're like, what the fuck does your name mean? I'm like,
I mean, I like that question just because it kind of gives a little bit of insight into the person. Like, you know, I've talked about mine where mine was literally, you know, like 6-year-old Kdog, 7-year-old Kdog thought it was like the coolest fucking name ever. Has nothing to do with my actual name. Name doesn't start with a K. The numbers, as far as I remember, don't mean anything. I don't know. Maybe I was very profound at 7 years old and they meant something. Either way, at 31-year-old Kdog, they don't mean anything. But I've been using this name for 20 years. So, but, you know, everybody, how they got their name, it's always interesting to see. And I don't know, I like it. I also, like, I was thinking, I saw on Instagram, which never like have extra money. Not that any of us have it right now, but definitely like don't like be sitting there browsing like Instagram or Facebook and everything. And like when you have extra money to spend and shopping, because you'll just buy like random shit.
I do that.
Yeah.
And I did that this week actually. I bought these cool face masks that have like clear plastic right here, so you can see your mouth, and it's like.
I think I actually saw you. So you're the reason those popped up on my timeline, probably. You know, so that's what that was, because I saw those. So you buying them popped it up on my timeline.
Ravi Nova or something like that. I don't know. I bought them.
Yeah,
they're nice.
Well, it was cool because like I found these things. The only I didn't buy them because I didn't like the way that it was like presented. A majority of it is just like kind of like quick buck, you know, kind of thing, paying for advertising, whatever. You know, it's our current generation's, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning as seen on TV. It's like as seen on Instagram and Facebook kind of thing. But. I got, there's this one thing that I saw that randomly came up, and it was like podcast questions, which I think it was like a deck of cards. It was just like inspiration. It had like 30 podcast questions, and they actually had like 2 decks, so you get like 60 cards. And I was like, that would be kind of cool just to like get something like that. I'm sure I could just scrounge around on the internet because I didn't buy it. But then like randomly draw a card, be like, all right, pick a card, left or right, and have that be like the question that the special guest like answers or something like that about themselves. I don't know. It's just like stuff like interview question wise is what it was. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nifty. I didn't buy them though. But that's in the future. Like I need to like probably what I'm gonna do is just search around for like interview podcast questions and just like print them out myself or something like that. Or well, actually, that would cost me to actually have to use printer ink, and I'd have to get some. I'll figure out something. We'll figure out something. Maybe pick a number or something like that. Yeah. Who actually prints shit anymore? I know, exactly. Yeah. Like,
so bad.
Why has that market not changed at all? It's like you can get a new printer for like $30 at Walmart, but printer ink is like $50 a cartridge.
Yep.
Yeah. If you use one of the like the cheaper ones, it's like, nope, that doesn't work in your printer.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much cheaper just to go fucking buy a new one, which I will do when next time I need to print something, but I haven't needed to print something. I
already have 2 printers. They're both in this closet.
Yeah.
And they're both out of ink.
Well, I mean, for the past, like, anytime I needed to print something, unless it was emergency at home, I would just print it at fucking work. You know, like, you know, I have access to, you know, cast services and all that kind of stuff, so I just go to fucking work, print out all my shit, and good to fucking go. I never worried about it. But anyways, I don't know. What else, Ryan? When do you normally stream? Like you're all over the fucking place though, right?
Yeah. Well, I've kind of changed a little bit, but typically you'll find me every day around 6 p.m. my time, so 1 p.m. Eastern until 6 p.m. Eastern. But I usually go later as well. Typically every day except from Wednesdays and Sundays. But I'm now gonna start streaming on Sundays because we actually tried it last week. A lot of fun because people were just about and want to chill, so we just played a bunch of like chill Fall Guys. But we played some Among Us as well, and yeah, I'd like to maybe start doing some like Jackbox stuff and like make it all about that kind of community day. But yeah, Sundays are a fun day. I didn't realize how like
I've been noticing that also. Yeah, like it really is like an empty day, and I've been thinking that too. Like I do my Monday through Friday, but fuck, I'm on indefinite furlough as of now. So I mean.
I used to do Monday through Friday, and then was about a few months into my Mixer journey. I was like, I just don't want to do 5 days in a row anymore. I just need a break in between. So I switched Sunday and Wednesday. So Wednesdays are now my day off, and I stream Sundays. And Sundays are really chill, nice days. a lot of other streamer friends don't stream on Sundays, so
And-
a
yeah.
lot of them hop in and are able to talk.
And that's kind of what I noticed too. It's like, all right, you know, not many people on, so it's just like you kind of go and get to see people you don't normally see and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Hey, they changed. Why I'm not colored anymore? What my text? That sounded wrong. My text, I just noticed in chat, isn't
blue.
Yeah, why isn't it blue?
Yeah.
It's
It's blue for me.
italicized. Oh, maybe it's just on my end.
Oh, it's because you on Chrome they changed to Xera so that it's italics now, right?
Oh, is that it? Yeah, I just
Like, maybe
downloaded
the
that
old school
Twixera. Yeah, I downloaded that old school Twixera. I downloaded that Twixera. Yeah. I don't know. Like everybody was raving about it, so I downloaded it, and I'm like, all right. So I see tiny
like
little
the idea of the
image. Yeah.
the username, like the profile pictures, but I don't want anything else from it.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it. I was like, well, let's see about username, and then of course talk about Fall Guys. We'll be talking about Fall Guys a little bit later on in the show. A couple things coming up on the show. Where'd my list of topics go? There we go. It got behind it. Talking about new things from Logitech, Borderlands, Control DLC, new games coming out, Wasteland, etc., etc. A little bit about Twitch stuff, and then Apple and Epic. I combine the two. Epic, the Applic battle. Applic. I don't know. We'll figure something out. And of course, like more Fall Guys info and all that kind of stuff. But first off, as we get into it, big news today came out. If you didn't see it, is the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War announcement. Came out I think like 1 o'clock today was the in-game event, like noon or 1 o'clock, something like that, maybe 2. I don't know, somewhere around that time. Yeah, there was an in-game event. I know JoJo didn't do it because she said that she wasn't doing it. Ryan, did you like see any of like in-game event or do it at all? Or
I haven't updated Modern Warfare in about 2 months.
well, there you go. There you go. I just watched Stone Mountain play through it. I didn't update it and all that either, but it was kind of cool, like in-game event. Very similar. So it's one of the other games, kind of like Destiny did a little bit of an in-game event, kind of trying it. Not nearly as much. You sat there for like 15 minutes and watched a ship crash. Like it was dumb in my opinion, and we talked about how dumb it was. But anyways, yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, it was just like, all right, cool. It's like, all right, cool. But it wasn't like anything special. Whereas this, like, they did it right. They did it like a Fortnite type of thing, where you loaded into a special mode that was only live for an hour. So it was a special mode. It was the only mode that you can play in Warzone, and it was similar to kind of like a plunder thing, but you had like quests that you had to do. And obviously Cold War, like the secret documents type of thing, so everything on the map was like blacked out and redacted type of thing. So you loaded in, you had like different achievements or different quests that you had to do, get 5 kills, and then you got codes, then you had to go to like one of the bunkers or something like that and get like something else, like a radio code or something. You had to go get something else, kill somebody, and then you had to find woods from Black Ops, from the original Black Ops and all that. And then he gave you like a blueprint, and then after that, pretty much the gas is coming in, and it takes you to like a cutscene type of thing, and then you get to watch in game with everybody else the actual reveal trailer. So it was kind of cool, like limited time event. It gave you it was an SKS blueprint, so nobody's actually gonna use it, but it was kind of cool. Like I don't think anybody actually uses the SKS in that game, but I do have the trailer queued up here, so JoJo / anybody else out there who didn't get to see it, where's my button? Oh wait, hold on, I need to change that really quick. Do it. So let's do that. There we go. All right, and I'm gonna turn this down a little bit, but actually really cool reveal trailer. And this was what, like I said, this was what was revealed in game, and you watched it with everybody else, and then of course it went live on YouTube and all that kind of goodness.
Conflict could well be mankind's last. We want to make this a more peaceful world.
5 days ago, we acquired intel. Soviet agent Perseus is in play. If he's active, something big is gonna happen. Something that could shift the balance of the Cold War.
Does that character not look like, what's his name? Like, is it Richard Dreyfuss? Is that who it looks like? Is that his name? I don't know. It looks like some actor. I'm trying to think of his. I think that's his name, but it's not him, I guess. I love that the RC car's back.
Right.
Mr. President, is the threat real? Yes, sir, we believe it is. Give Mr. Adler whatever he wants. I know you won't fail us.
Pre-order a digital copy and get early access to the open beta and instant access to the Woods Operator Pack in Modern Warfare, including Warzone.
Gotta push the stuff. Yeah. So here's my thing from all that. Obviously, that was largely the single player campaign reveal. And you saw there at the end that was September 9th, right. We have the multiplayer reveal. My thought, though, is that desert thing with the buggies and all that, I think that's going to be the new Warzone map. I think that's what the multiplayer reveal and all that is, because that was like very much, very much at the end and kind of like had that look to it, multiplayer wise. So I'm guessing that's the new Warzone map when whatever it drops. So that's my hypothesis for what that was at the very end. So that was just the multiplayer, a little bit of multiplayer reveal, but we'll find out more on the 9th. Everything else was single player. Looked really cool. Direct sequel. I heard you guys talk about it right as we were coming into the thing. This is a direct sequel to the original Black Ops. It is set in 1981, but it does have like flashbacks to different eras. So I was reading like during certain missions, you will like flashback to Nam and Laos and all that kind of stuff. So kind of cool, like jumping back and forth. Something that is a little different than other Call of Duties that I don't remember ever seeing before is that you almost kind of have like a customizable character, not like RPG like huge, but your character, the protagonist, you can choose like male, female, non-gender, gender neutral, etc., and then like different backstories also to go with your character. How much effect this has on the game, I'm not quite sure. But, I mean, it's something a little cool. And it does have multiple different endings, too. So, hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. So, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a new COD. Black Ops series. I really, I always thought the Black Ops series was the best of COD, personally. I'm hoping that whatever multiplayer they announce is, like, a mix between, like, Warzone and Blackout, because I don't love Warzone. I don't hate it, but I really like Blackout. Like, I'd love like a middle ground between the two. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts after seeing the video and that?
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm always excited for a new Call of Duty, but I don't know. I did not like the multiplayer of Modern Warfare, the current one, at all. When it came out, I just thought it was toxic and stupid, and it still feels that way. I think the maps are just too small, and so that's why I like Warzone, because it feels just like the multiplayer, but it's not a tiny piece of shit map. You can throw a grenade from your spawn to the other spawn,
Yeah. And I have always said that Warzone is pretty much a glorified multiplayer, and that's why it was one of my things that I don't like about it. Like, I don't see it as a BR. Like, it has BR elements, but I think that it's a glorified multiplayer in that regard. But
yeah, I mean, I can see that totally. But I'm also excited because, I mean, I'm an Infinity Ward fan myself. I like the Infinity Ward games, but I will say that Treyarch does a really good job making maps a good size. Infinity Ward has a long history of making tiny maps with like pre-fire spots and stuff like that. So I'm excited for
yeah,
that.
I've always
wanna be
liked the
able to play the
Treyarch
multiplayer again.
versions. Yeah, I like the Treyarch versions a lot better.
Granted, some of my favorite maps of all time are from Modern Warfare 2, but Modern Warfare 2 was like a Call of Duty of its own kind. Nothing was really similar to that one. So
Yeah,
I
that
think for
one.
me, I'm always been more. I'm a different kind of COD player. I'm someone who mainly gets it for the campaign. So when Black Ops 4 didn't have one, I was like, well, I'm not playing Black Ops 4.
same. I love the Call of Duty campaigns. That's probably my favorite part.
I don't really touch the multiplayer. I play it for like a week or two, and then I stopped. Like Warzone is not my thing. But like I bought Modern Warfare for that campaign. I loved it. Like I'm already in. Like this is like as much as I love Black Ops 1 especially. I'm already in. Like I'll touch the multiplayer to play with friends, but campaign, you've already got me hooked.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, the graphics look good and everything on it too. Like I mean, obviously that's a trailer and cinematic, so got to keep that in mind at this day and age. They're putting their best foot forward, like most games do. But I haven't played a campaign Call of Duty in I don't even know how long.
I played Black Ops 1's campaign and I didn't play anymore. I played Ghost campaign. Ghost was fucking incredible when it comes to the campaign. And everyone gives Ghost shit for their multiplayer, but the Ghost multiplayer to date is the Call of Duty I was the best at. I had like a 3.0 KD in Ghost, and I don't even average a 1.0 KD in regular Call of Duty. So I don't know what it was about that game, but I was just really good at it. But I hope we get a sequel to the Ghost campaign because the story left you on this giant ass cliffhanger, and it was so interesting. And then they just were like, nope, no more.
Yeah, different wherever.
It's so depressing. It was so good. It reminded me so much of like the old good Infinity Ward campaigns, like COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. That campaign line is so good. It's juicy.
I might go. I've thought about it recently because I remember like it's very like it's set kind of in the near future and it's like more realistic. Like when they went off like full on like we're in space. It's like
yeah.
Okay. But yeah, thinking back in recently, it's like maybe I'll go back and revisit at some point and Riley the dog and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There is one thing I did notice as well, which is like kind of different or like slightly off topic from the COD thing. I mean, it's to do with COD. They've it's what you're going to touch on later with Control a little bit. You can upgrade to PlayStation and the next consoles, but it's going to cost you. It's not free. And they've like kind of tried to sell it a little bit. It's like, hey, you can upgrade for free, but you have to buy the specific version, which costs an extra $10. It's like, so it's not free, but there's already been like controversy about that. So
yeah, you know, there's the one we're talking about with Control later and everything, but there's a lot of those games that, you know, are free upgrades and that, but this brings out kind of thing. This is a COD that's launching the next generation, pretty much coming out in November. So we have all the new games that are coming with the new, just the new consoles, pretty much by himself, or however you want to put it. Cyberpunk, a Destiny story, a huge expansion there, which, you know, that's a huge thing. The consoles themselves, Cyberpunk comes out early November 11th, I think, something like that.
Tony Hawk comes out next month.
Yep, Tony. You missed playing the Tony Hawk demo with me, Jojo. We could still, I don't know if it's still live.
I saw some gameplay of it.
Yeah.
I honestly don't have it pre-ordered yet because none of my friends can decide what platform we're all going to get it on.
We're getting it on PC. And then you're just plugging in a controller. And because, dude, you know how good it looks at 160 frames? Like, it's so nice. It was so nice.
I want to, but like, there's a big part of me that just wants to play it organically on a PlayStation like my 9-year-old self did, you know? Like,
yeah, but your PC will run it so much better.
I know it will. I'll just have to stop. You know, I have to just post out and just plug my PlayStation controller into it.
That's what I've been doing, like so much, like the golf game, certain games, the Samurai Jack game that I just played, a couple others, like I just plug my controller into, because there are some games that feel better, like Souls games feel better with a controller, you know.
Fall Guys feels better with controller.
Yeah, I started doing Fall Guys with a controller because like when I tried it the other day, I was like, all right, like Ryan and a couple other people were like, oh yeah, you know, it's better with a controller. So I tried it, definitely the way to go. There are some games that are, and I love mouse and keyboard. I will play mouse and keyboard, you know, majority of the time given the option, but there are some games that feel better. But that being said, in November we have all these games coming out. Obviously this is this year's Call of Duty, you know, they come out with one every fucking year at this point. Looks really good, and people excited for the Black Ops side of it, obviously continuation of Black Ops 1. The question I have is, do you guys think that is this going to replace, because Warzone is supposed to like keep going or whatever, like that's what they've always said, like Warzone is going to be a thing no matter how long you know, whatever new Call of Duties come out. Yeah, you know, do we think
People
though?
still play Blackout.
Yeah, the people do still play Blackout, but is it going to be like as popular, or do you? What I want to say is because Blackout was just kind of like an add-on. It wasn't a standalone like free thing. So Blackout was part of Call of Duty. Do we think Cold War? Do we think Treyarch and that is going to release their own BR?
I mean, I think at this point, if they don't, they're gonna lose that audience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, that's just how it is. The BR audience and the whole shift from BRs hasn't started yet. So if you're a game developer, you just gotta put one in there to stay relevant.
But I mean, if they do, then like, what's gonna happen to like Warzone? Like, is it gonna go to the way of, you know, Blackout? But I mean, the only difference between Warzone and Blackout is that Blackout was a part of Black Ops 4. So it's like you had to pay for the game, whereas Warzone is a standalone free game. Is Cold War going to have a standalone free BR to compete in their own market? Like, then you're pulling from your own market, you know?
That's the reason I don't think there will be one at launch. I honestly think, they might say it because the way that they're talking about it from what I was reading, like, two separate teams are handling Cold Wars. You have Treyarch on multiplayer, and you'll have Raven Soft or whatever they're called handling single player. As I think, I know you were saying that the whole desert thing might be for Warzone or whatever the equivalent is. I honestly think they might singularly focus on multiplayer, because then that way Call of Duty can be like, hey, here is your best multiplayer, and then they'll kind of stop supporting multiplayer normal in Modern Warfare, and then you'll have Warzone still. And it makes sense to maybe continue to upgrade that, and then in another year's time, then launch something else. Because like you say, Blackout does its own thing, but no one really talks about it much anymore. And so I think they'll just be like, if you want your traditional single player or your traditional multiplayer, go to Cold War. If you want Warzone, stick with it, and it's free. So that way there's no cost for them to make this new one and upgrade it on the next thing, where you already have it there, and then you just put all your big focus into like multiple different modes for multiplayer, like not just like your kind of like like standard ones, but you might have like new modes. But we'll see. I'm excited for like seeing what they come out with. But yeah, I think they'll probably stick with maybe just Warzone for now, at launch at least. I think personally.
I kind of agree. I mean, that's what they did with this one. Like, Warzone didn't come out for like what, almost 2 months after launch. So I think that's what they do mostly. They'll make the multiplayer and single player package, and they'll sell that, and then if it does really well, they'll release a BR. It doesn't take that long to put a BR together. It's honestly embarrassing how easy it is for these people to make a BR. So
yeah, just make a map. If you have the multiplayer, you just got to make a map for it to work, you know?
I will say, I really like what both Blackout and Warzone did, where they took all of the maps from their respective companies in the past Call of Duty games, and they just put them into little sections. I love that, because I'm just like running around killing people, and then I'm like, oh,
I recognize this. Yeah, the first couple times you're in there. Yeah, it is really cool. I agree.
Especially in Warzone, because there's maps from Modern Warfare 2 in Warzone, and I'm always just like, can we go to Boneyard, because it's Scrapyard now? Like, I just remember being happy when I was 19 and playing Scrapyard. Like,
it reminds me of a happier time of teabagging people and, you know, fucking them up.
I was really disgustingly good at Modern Warfare 2. I don't think I'll ever be that good at a Call of Duty again. Besides Ghost, that was just that was weird.
I say we already heard you talking about Ghost. No, I think I agree. I don't know, like right out of the way. I do think long term, I think because it is separate companies, I feel like Treyarch is going to come out with a BR, maybe not whether they're supposed to or not, but I think they will come out with a BR that is kind of opposite Warzone, which I think they're going to end up competing with each other. And I think the new one, at the end of the day, the newer one will win, because that's how COD is.
I agree. Most people always move on to the next situation, like the next model or whatever.
Yeah, even though Warzone is supposed to continue, kind of supposed to be like Fortnite or whatever, where it just kind of updates and keeps updating. But, you know, on that thing, like, that's why I thought that desert might be the new thing for Warzone, because we've seen like a couple small map updates. We saw the stadium blow up and all that recently on Warzone and kind of open up, but we haven't seen like map changes. Yeah, you know, it's got a train now like Apex, but we haven't seen like map changes, you know. We haven't seen like huge things like Fortnite, like Apex, like all, you know, PUBG, like all these have done. So that's why I'm guessing that desert thing, they're pulling a PUBG and introducing Miramar or whatever it was, which was disgusting and terrible map, but you know, whatever. you know, maybe this one will work. So I don't know, but it looks cool. September 9th, multiplayer reveal. We'll have more information then, and we'll talk about it then.
I'll be too busy playing Tony Hawk. I don't care.
We'll watch and talk about the video, but yes, I'll be playing Tony Hawk as well. You know, I was doing good. I was starting to figure.
Until at least December. Okay.
I was figuring out how to do it. I was getting some good by the end of, like, I ran the demo for about an hour and a half or so, because I mean it's just like the one, it's a 2-minute run on the one intro map.
The warehouse.
The warehouse. And especially since you can't like upgrade your character or anything, you can't like do some of the really big jumps and all that kind of stuff. But that being said, I did unlock a couple things, and I was starting to figure out. And I was remembering how to do like the manuals and all that kind of stuff to chain tricks together. And
dude, I went outside today and skateboarded because I was just like, I want to play Tony Hawk, and I just can't, I don't have a center of gravity anymore. Like I gotta relearn how to ride a skateboard.
I'm like on the fence about it. Like I love Tony Hawk games, but like I remember they tried to remaster these two already back on 360. I think it was towards the end of it.
Yeah.
And then the Pro Skate 5 I heard was trash, and it's like,
yeah. So
I want to play it, and I've heard good things, but I kind of need to see what everyone thinks. But like after it comes up, before I kind of been like, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah. So not to get too, because we've talked about it before, not to get too far off topic, but I would, if you are on the fence, I really like it. JoJo was on the show when we talked about it. The nice thing is it's 100% remaster from ground up, and it integrates both 1 and 2 as well. So your character, so all those maps, everything, and it adds the multiplayer aspect. So you can have like skate parties and all of like
so
1 and 2 and everything, and in a multiplayer lobby, which is something that you couldn't do before. And you carry over your character if you're playing through all those maps from 1 and 2. You can jump back and forth, and they all are in a little mini like a mini universe, so they all intertwine kind of. So yeah,
as Tony Hawk players, it's all we've ever wanted. We wanted all the games to be combined into one, and we just want our friends to play with us. And
yeah,
they're like,
exactly.
You know what? You got it. Pretty much. I was like, yes. So
JoJo wants to give you a treat. Here.
That was actually the second time I've done that.
I know. I saw. I was distracted and talking. Here. I'll give you another one. I don't want you to get fat, but here, I'll give you one for now. She's literally like playing down by my feet anyway.
You
so.
don't want her to get fat. Something wrong with fat people? Huh?
I'm saying she is too. She's tiny and adorable, and I want her to stay that way. I don't want to gorge her on treats constantly. I mean, I already
take it off of your points button.
Hi. No, I have it limited to like 3 a night. I have a limit on it.
I already did too. Suck it, chat.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for it because, like JoJo said, like and it runs. Once I got it figured out, like the fact that on PC and all that, you could get it to like 160 frames and everything, like unlimited frames, uncapped. It's great. There we go. And there's the last one. Right before the end, as long as you stay being good, you get 2 more treats coming. There we go. But yeah, anything else on COD before we move right along?
I don't think so. I'm just super excited.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed they don't fuck it up. That's really all you can say. With
RC car. I'm excited for the RC car again.
It just takes like a couple of small mistakes to completely ruin a Call of Duty game, though. Like the time to kill has to be right. The kill streaks have to be done properly. The guns have to be balanced. Like if you don't nail all those shit, like no Call of Duty ever really does, it's just gonna flop.
Yeah, it's just how bad they fuck up those things. It's like, that, here's your allowable fuck up range, because all of Call of Duty,
and say that the more unbalanced it is, the more fun it is. Like Modern Warfare 2, for another example, the UMP in hardcore was a one-hit kill no matter where it was. Yeah. There was the akimbo stuff. There was the model shotguns that no matter where you were, it was like a sniper.
Yeah. And that's not really fun to me. Like, I don't know. Like, some people could see that as fun, but also like there's some people. There's also kind of the same people who say that like cheating is fun, because they could just click.
Two kinds of COD players. Yeah. The kinds that like the akimbo models and the kinds that like to actually play.
Yeah. It's like, oh hey, cool. Yeah. Well, depending on the day, you got to mix it up.
The akimbo models.
Yeah. Anyways, moving right along to what was originally the first topic today. Which is what has been in the news kind of for the past couple weeks, but really has escalated over the past like week and a half, 2 weeks. The epic Apple fight, which actually the more you dig into it, has a lot of repercussions that could see. They could reverberate throughout like gaming, especially mobile wise and all that. But simply put, if you guys aren't familiar with what this is, give you Reader's Digest version. Long story short, Epic decided that, after a couple months of, we'll get into it, after a couple months of emails with Apple and all that, they decided that, hey, we're going to introduce this payment method into Fortnite Mobile that they're allowed to direct pay us. And even though Apple said no, and that's against like TOS and their whole contract and everything of having it, they did it anyways. So it allowed people to buy V-Bucks directly from Epic and supersede the Apple store and get around them. So it was cheaper. It was $2 cheaper. But obviously, Apple then didn't get their cut. And this, of course,
pissed a 20% cut.
30%. 30%.
Oh,
30%
okay.
cut. Yeah.
It's a big cut.
Yeah,
so
it's a big cut.
Mad, but also like being an asshole.
Yeah. So I mean, there's exactly. I see like both sides of it. So and that's the thing. As I'm getting into it. Yeah. So Epic obviously, so they removed it because it violates their terms and all that, of course. And one of the things was, and then after that, since they took it down and they banned it from the App Store, one of the bigger things that I'll get into here in a second is that it also banned their developer account, which is in charge of the Unreal Engine, which especially on mobile is huge. And I'll get into that more, the repercussions of that in a second, but a little bit just more on the core thing of it, which was like Jojo said, and I see two sides. I am 100% in agreement that Apple getting 30% is just Apple being Apple, and they want their money.
Well, Google does the same thing.
And Google does the same thing.
Google does the same exact shit.
They do the same thing. So to me, this is, and I agree that Apple takes too much in doing this. And it's especially harder on smaller companies and all that. So, but how I see it, especially, I have the link in the Discord there for you guys. You can read through. There's actually a whole bunch of emails. So they released, because of this is a court fight. This is a huge thing that is going to be continuing for a while and will have repercussions throughout, mainly the mobile space of it, but could also see it in another couple lights as well. But mainly this is the mobile side of gaming, which a lot of us don't really do as much, but it is a part of gaming and huge repercussions for it. This is, Apple has it, we take 30%, whatever. Epic decided, you know what, fuck that, we're going to introduce our own payment model, violated the contract and introduced it. They knew what they were doing. Epic is, to the point, and how I see it is, Epic has gotten big enough that as a company, they felt that it was their time to challenge Apple. That's what I see of this, because like, especially if you read through, there's like 27 pages of the court documents of the emails going, and the head of Epic pretty much said in the email, hey, we're going through with this, do whatever the fuck you want. We're ready to fight this. We are instituting our own payment method, which I think 30% is too much. I agree, but I think this is also Epic just trying to. They're not doing it. They say in the articles and everything, hey, we're doing this because, we want the consumer to save money and yada, yada, yada. Bullshit. Epic is doing it because they don't want to have to give up any of their proceeds. They're not doing it because they want us to save money, guys. I guarantee it. Epic just has a big enough. I read
an article that, that's basically true, but I also read an article that said that Epic's whole reason behind the lawsuit wasn't just because obviously they wanted to take that money for themselves, but they also said that they were just really sick of Apple and Google having a totally monopoly over the mobile markets, and they really do. If you think about it, like, if you as a developer aren't approved by Apple and Google, you're fucked. There's no other company you can go to get your game on mobile, and you have to do what they say. Cable companies and phone companies have been broken up for so much less. So I really hope that the lawsuit wins, at least, not because of Epic. I could give a shit less about Epic, but because think about all the things that could happen if Apple was actually, like, they had consequences for controlling the market the way they do.
No, I agree. Yeah,
for every app that I have as an iPhone user, like, it's just
It's like more so, it's the whole cut thing. It's like when you sub on like Twitch as well, it's like it always costs more for phones.
And that's why.
Get that cut.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why you have sub tokens and things like that when you sub on Twitch and everything else. So it affects the pay scheme. And I agree. And I think it is not in a bad way. Like I say that they're doing it, I just was taking kind of calling them out on the fact that they're doing it for the consumer. Their Epic also has done this. If you think about it, once they got big enough, they challenged Steam on PC. This is their MO. Like at the end of the day, yes, 100%. Google and Apple do have that monopoly over it, and I think the 30% that they charge is complete bullshit. But that being said, this is Epic establishing themselves as a rival to these companies. Steam on PC. This is what they went after Steam and we're like, hey, developers, we're going to charge you less, et cetera, et cetera. This is Epic being Epic. They're not exactly doing it for us, chat, you guys. They're doing it for themselves as a company.
But in the meantime.
But yeah, exactly. It's like there's good. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I see. That's what I see coming at the end of it. Is that I foresee that whole, hey, this is great now, but then a couple years down the road, okay, they knock down Apple. Now you have to go through Epic Game Store or whatever and all this kind of stuff, which I'm already annoyed with on PC. I'm annoyed with that on PC. I don't like using Epic. I like Steam. All right, and I know they have issues. The only
reason I have the Epic launcher is to log in every 2 weeks and get the free game.
Yeah, or the games that are exclusive.
I don't play anything through it.
Yep. Yeah. The only reason I have it is for the certain games like Control. Control is on Epic, which we'll talk about later.
I got Overcooked 2 for free. I mean, I have that.
I got GTA for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GTA. I've already bought that like 30 times, so I would have just bought it the 31st time if I wanted to. Which I did on Steam.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is good. This is definitely something that is going to mark probably this current, at least throughout this year, probably the next, I see this going at least probably over the next 2 years. There's a couple injunctions in that short term. So what I was saying as we're getting into that. So we just talked a little bit of that. The main thing, like I said, with the developer side of it. So when Apple bans and gets rid of a product off of the App Store, a game, whatever it may be, and deletes it because they violated a contract, violated their terms and all that, it is written that they get rid of everything, all of their accounts that they're associated with on that App Store. So like I said, that includes their developer account, which has their mobile Unreal Engine, which accounts for majority, and actually, well, it seems like not, but overall majority of mobile games use the Unreal Engine. And obviously Unreal is used on PC as well, but this is just the mobile landscape. And you see a lot of fluff, especially from Epic side, saying, oh, well, Unreal is used in here and movies and PC, but that doesn't matter if they block it on the Apple Store. If it's used on all those, all those are still fine. But at least from the mobile landscape, now you see a lot of these developers, and with the issue that will come in, which right now they had a short-term injunction that they can't block it. The court said, hey, you cannot block it until September 28th. They're having a reconvening on September 28th to say, okay, is this a thing that they can block or not? Because it has such an influential impact. Games like Microsoft's, like Forza on mobile, there are so many games that run using this Unreal Engine, and if they do block it and get it off the App Store, now there's no more updates, there's no more access to the developer side of it from Epic to if there are any bugs with updates on
They're
iOS.
ruining their whole gaming base.
Yeah, exactly. So right now it's good. But this is one of the things I said that could have repercussions, because also you see that once this happens, you have a lot of developers, and I was reading that they were already losing money and having developers leave them because as an engine, as a core engine of your games, you want to you invest in something that you know is going to be there for years and years. You don't use, Kdog's, gaming engine, randomly that you found on the internet, because it might not be there in 6 months, a year, 2 years to actually run your game. So you've already seen people jumping ship because they're not sure if this engine is still going to be viable, and they're having to start and converting over to Unity. So that's like the other side of this, is that this is having a lot of repercussions just throughout mobile gaming from the Unreal side of it, not just the, hey, we want to spend more or less money, but that's a whole different side of it that is a side effect of this lawsuit and this feud between, chaotic evil and neutral evil, pretty much, or lawful evil. I don't know. Yeah, maybe like they have some good ideas, but they're still kind of, you know, whatever. It's still Epic.
Didn't Fortnite also get banned off of the Google App Store for? Is it back on there now? I think it was like, or it's taken out briefly or something maybe.
It was originally Google and Apple, but I don't know what happened to Google because they're not in any of the recent news articles.
Yeah, I think so Google is still fine. Yeah, their Google, at least as of right now, is like everything that I saw. They're good. What Epic did was also against Google Play terms of service as well. So they were pulled from everything mobile. At least briefly. Yeah, and I think as far as I haven't seen one way or the other, but like you guys said, I did see initially that it was on, you know, the same thing for Google. They introduced their own thing, but this fight is between Apple, and those seem to be two heads. I feel like Google, even in all the recent articles I've seen over the past week and a half, has not even mentioned Google. So I think this is Google was like, okay, we're good to go. Because even I saw
Google was probably like, oh, you're suing Apple?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put it back.
Yeah,
up.
we'll let you. Yeah, you go do that. We'll be over here. You know, whatever. Let us know how that works out. We'll be here. You know, we'll be here to kind of slide right in a little bit. But I also, like you just said, with that's a huge thing with the Google. The other thing, the other side is, and I think that's funny, Unity, which is the other main mobile game engine, which like you guys might be familiar with Unity, even on like PC and everything, but also that's the other main mobile engine, a lot more of a mobile focus. It actually just went publicly trading this past week, so it now can be publicly traded, which they have said that it has been, you know, even in the, you know, going publicly trading, the release and everything, they're like, it has been losing money since like pretty much 2011. It's a smaller team, etc. It's not nearly as big as Epic, yada yada. But they do say in their article and all that, or in their, you know, whole, because they have to hold that shareholders meeting and all that to be publicly traded, etc., etc. They account for 51 or 53%, either way, a little bit over 53% of the top 1,000 games in Apple's App Store. So timing wise, Unity might be the winner in all this, because they may be like shares starting out low. I don't know exactly where their shares are at and all that, but I mean, this might be the time to go buy some Unity shares, because
be careful though. It is 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. Hey, do not take stock advice from KDog, but it is
any second now. All that shit could just come crumbling down.
Yeah,
so.
don't take, you know, necessarily stock advice from me, but you know, the timing on Unity's part is pretty solid. You know, it's like, hey, you know, they were probably thinking about it, you know, go publicly traded, then they're like, oh, all this shit's going down with Unreal Engine. All right, you know, fuck it. Let's you know, get ourselves out there. You know, I don't know.
It's strange on how it all kind of moved. So like my kind of background with it. So I actually used to study to be a games dev. And so back when I was doing this, it was Unity was like the big one, because like, hey, you want to kind of be developing for your phone even? And it was like Unity were here, and it was like you Epic were making moves to be like how you can get less stuff. It was like, I remember what was back 2013 to 15.
Yeah.
It was like, if you're on mobile, you want to be on Unity. And then I think with Fortnite, it kind of changed everything. And then it seems to be going back that way again. So it's going to be interesting to see how.
Yeah, if Unity retakes it.
It's like competition again. And so maybe Unity will get way better again. But yeah, no one's really talked about Unity in a while, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
I don't know where the turning point was from Unity to Unreal.
I don't know either.
Game it was that really brought Unreal back. It was a few years ago, at least, that I know of, that Unreal started making it a rise. I just don't know what string of games it was.
I think it's because like Unreal became such a bigger space on, you know, PC, and also like even in like Hollywood and things like that for like graphic design and you know, with movies and everything. And I think like Unity and Epic and or not Unity, Unreal and
like anybody who's anybody can download the Unreal Engine and make their own game.
Yeah, like they just really pushed it rather well, and it just became kind of, for whatever reason, I don't know, like you said, I don't know what exactly was the catalyst, but it just started being adopted by everybody. I don't know.
It blew up.
Yeah, you know, but I mean, yeah, it's used, you know, a lot of the Microsoft main games, you know, obviously all the Epic games, you know, Gears, things like that, but it blew up. It blew the fuck up. I don't know. And Unity came out in, I think, 2012-ish. Unreal came out back in 2009, if I remember correctly.
I just feel like maybe since like the early 2010s, like 2010 and plus, gaming for PCs has been on the rise. Really, PC gaming got a lot bigger, probably because of streaming and whatnot growing as much as it did. So maybe that was part of why Unreal just grew as quick as it did.
Yeah, maybe. What was I? I'm checking over my notes, make sure that I cover everything. Hold on, I can't even read my old handwriting because my scribble with it. Oh, that's the thing. When I take down like 17,000, like 2 pages of notes, I have to jump back and forth because I have like ideas and shit like that, and it's like, anyways, so yeah, the short term thing, we covered that. So we covered the bugs, if there are issues with that. Oh, I did see that actually now the Fortnite update, I saw the article and I couldn't find it again, but I saw with the next Fortnite update already, because you can still play if you have Fortnite downloaded on your phone. And it was funny, I did see something saying that Apple phones with Fortnite installed were actually up on eBay to be sold for a high price. Yeah, so because people are, it was kind of like the whole like Flappy Bird. Remember when Flappy Bird or whatever was like kicked off, and people were doing the same thing. People were like,
and PT on PS4 was trying to get that playable screen.
yeah, like everybody's like buying, you know, the things that already have it installed before it got taken off. So people were selling that. But now, even if you have it installed, so Google is gonna, so, and this is why I think that Google is okay with them right now. Like, let them fight Apple, because if you have it on mobile, Google and everything, you're still getting your updates. But now, if you're on iPhone after this next update, originally they said that it's gonna still be updated, but that's not the case.
No,
you are gonna be running 2 different versions.
They got rid of their Unreal.
Yeah, so there is a different update. So if you're on iPhone, if you're playing that, you're only playing other iPhone people after this point. You're not playing any Google, anything like that, because the update, it's going to be a different version. So it's not even going to be updated. So that was another thing that I saw on this. So it's...
There was something in that article too that I read briefly that said like they were trying to play it off as the iPhone players didn't matter because it was such a small group of people. And I'm just like, that's not the point though. It doesn't matter how many people play on iPhone. It matters what Apple is doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I said. Like I see some good reasonings on both sides of this. I don't think like either side is 100% in the right, because I know they're also self-serving. So like, it's not.
If you do, damned if you don't.
It's not like.
Just pour one out for gamers.
Yeah,
there's no right side.
Yeah, like this is just. It's just gonna be what happens.
Two evils. It's kind of like politics, but in gaming.
Yeah, business wins, gamers lose.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, either way, something, you know, if Epic wins, it's gonna change the, you know, the App Store, but you know, at what cost? At what cost? You know. So we'll see. We'll see. It's definitely something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, because this is probably the biggest thing that I, you know, really in gaming that has happened in a while, honestly, even though it is mobile gaming, you know, and some people argue, but shit, mobile gaming is the biggest thing in fucking Japan. They don't even have fucking... You know, mobile gaming is, yeah, it's huge. And like, people don't have like consoles and shit over in Japan, and that like you go over there, everybody's playing mobile. Yeah, everybody has a phone. Not everybody can have a PC or a console or a Switch or like whatever. That shit's expensive. Like, you can't really get a console for less than $200. And that's why the cloud gaming is
model of a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Yeah, that's why cloud gaming is going to be a thing, because everybody has phones, especially in foreign markets and all that. Like I said, like Japan, all these mobile things, they want people to be able to play this on their phone, because that's where a lot of people are leaning in this day and age, because God forbid we look up from our phones. I mean, I'm also one of those people. I wake up, I fucking roll over, and I sit there for like 30 minutes just going like this, you know. It's bad. It's bad.
It drives me crazy. I'm like, how can you sit there and just watch like videos on your phone as soon as you wake up? I wake up, look at my phone, I clear the notifications that are on there, and then I just go about my day because I can't be bothered.
No,
mine's in a different room. When I go to bed, I leave it like downstairs and go sleep upstairs, and I'm like, oh, I'll check it in the morning.
Nope. I wake up, I roll over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm catching up on everything, you know. So I get it. You know, as much as I talk trash about it, yeah.
I think Facebook... Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh no, I was just kidding. With the Fortnite thing, the one thing I did like is the fact that they did one pull them up, but the second, the animation video they had for the 1980 Thor thing, I loved it.
That was really cool.
Really creative with it.
Hold on, let me pull that up here.
That was really awesome. I remember watching that. I was like, Damn.
Like calling
pulled
them
their
out.
boxing gloves on for that one.
Yeah.
Like, how long did it take them to make that? Like they were fucking prepared.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I said. If you read through the emails, so like I said, I'm not gonna go through them, but if you there's the
They
court
weren't probably
documents.
prepared for
Oh
this
yeah,
shit to
this
hit the
has been
fan. They
going
were so
on
prepared.
since March.
Either that or they have the best creative design team that put that shit together in a few hours.
Well,
like,
I mean, they did that.
No way.
They knew. I think they knew. Probably. I didn't like. I skimmed some of them as they were going, but the emails like date back to like March or February. Like is when Epic was just like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do," and they were like going back and forth, and then finally Epic said, "Fuck it, we're doing it," you know. And they were trying to do it. So this has been.
That said that Epic knew exactly what they were doing, and they basically like set this trap for Apple, and Apple was like, I'm just gonna walk right into that trap, and they did, and they were like, no, we're taking your game down, and then Epic was like, that's what we wanted you to do.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, this was all, and that's why I said this is why I don't necessarily. I'm not necessarily siding with Epic because I know this is all ulterior.
I don't know who. Like, I want Epic to get slapped down because I don't really give a shit about Fortnite or anything. But at the same time, I want my apps to be cheaper, so I want Apple to get slapped. But
I know. It's like I want both of them to lose.
A middle ground that the judge can come up with. Like maybe there's some kind of middle ground. Like Apple, you have to reduce your cut and you have to put their game back up. But Epic, you can't break the terms of service and then be pissed when they boot your game off. Like.
It was called what? 1980 Fortnite, I think, right? Yeah, here we go. Hold on.
Yeah. It's really funny.
Free Fortnite. Hold on, wait. Like, because if you guys don't remember, for all you younger bloods, like this actually came out like before me, but Apple had an old video. Their old thing, and who was it in? Was it in counter to IBM? I can't remember who the original ad.
It was when Apple was really on the rise.
Like when they were on the rise, like they were counter. I think it was IBM. They were going,
when just getting noticed, and they put out this demographic video, and it was just like it went viral.
So it's really like taking their old thing and just mocking them.
I love it so much, though. Like, it's just so good. I know it's all Fortnite shit, and I don't care, but it's just so good. Like, everything about it is good.
I mean, everything you see is pretty much exactly what happened in the original ad. And then
another YouTube video that has both of the ads side by side, and you can look at the similarities.
Right, that's what I was just saying. Like, I wish they had like that. Oh, here we go. 84 is when they both came out. There we go.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, this is.
Look, yeah.
For years they have given us their sons, their labor, their dreams. In exchange,
It's so fucking funny.
taken our tribute, our profits, our control. This power is ours and ours alone. We shall.
Side note: if you've never read 1984, just go do that.
It's crazy. Look at the graphics, though. In 1984, that was like unreal. Unintended.
But wait, hold on. Where's my? There we go. Anyways, yeah, no, I think that was pretty cool. Also, I thought it was funny.
A great thing.
Yeah,
even if you don't like Apple or Epic, you watch that and you're like, damn, I'm kind of on Epic's side.
Yeah, it's
now.
like but like you said, this was definitely planned. This has been their emails go back to. I think I have the link in the Discord. I want to see when the earliest email was. It is in the Webshow topics and links section. For you guys. I was just saying, like, also for everybody out there in chat, if you want to read through the emails, I do have them linked there. So this is like the actual court documents and everything. So they have the emails so the emails were what I'm blanking on the fucking name. They had to file and they subpoenaed the emails. And I think these go back to like March or something like that. A lot of them. So they've known this was coming for a while. It was, it wasn't like a spur of the moment type of thing. We'll cover that in the Q&A later. All right.
You saw the question.
I did as I was tabbing over. Anyways. Any other topics? This is definitely something that we will be covering as it happens. You know, this is not going away anytime soon. This is something that's going to be drawn
totally
out.
Life-changing.
Yeah,
for
it is.
gaming. Whatever
Yeah,
happens in this will change how we play and adapt to games.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a big deal. Cool.
because even like on the streaming side of it, if Apple gets taken down, that changes even like Twitch, and that's why Mixer never had like the mobile subs that worked as well because of the having to pay
because of Apple.
because of
Fucking
having to pay
Apple,
the thing. So I mean that would change how subs work on PC or on mobile.
Even
like
members and shit on the Apple store was like, well, Apple doesn't have a store, but it was like so much more expensive to buy embers through your
So
mobile
this
app
this
for Mixer.
I
is
didn't know that.
Yeah.
People thought that like it was like, oh, this is Microsoft Mixed. It's like, no, this is what you do on
No,
phone.
yeah,
'cause you
people were
have
pissed
to-
because they thought it was Mixers. No,
Yeah.
it's Apple and Google that were doing
and
it.
that's why honestly 110% so Facebook, I don't know if you guys saw, you guys probably did, but chat and all that as well. Of course, Facebook came out offering full 100% kickback to creators for any
subs?
supporters and all that for subs. So it's $5 goes straight back to the creator, but that only applies to PC. That being said, and that's one of those things also the same kind of thing.
Undeniable.
Mobile, and I can say this because they said that, you know, it's not in the air or whatever. Like mobile is still only 70%. So pretty much you're still getting 100% of what they're
70%
getting.
Still really good,
Yeah.
though.
That is
Which
a
is
lot.
why
And we
I
get
really liked it to
50%
begin
here,
with, but
so-
I wasn't allowed to talk about it before. But now it's public, so you know.
Like, I don't want my fucking grandma to see my streams though. Like I just can't with Facebook. I'm sorry. I just
Just-
can't.
I'm saying,
Just do-
don't tell my friends I stream. It's like, oh, I don't really want to
like
go to
yeah.
Facebook.
No,
my
I get
mom
it,
knows
I
that
get it.
Stream, but she never knows the website that I stream on. But on Facebook,
Yeah.
she would be one click away from seeing
Right.
everything I'm doing, and I just don't. I don't want that at
Are you
all.
coming over for dinner this Sunday? Okay.
Yeah, I know, Mom.
I
So
had to
jumping
tell
into
my
chat,
mom
like
today that I got my nipples pierced. I was hiding it from her because she's very conservative and Christian and whatever. But they got infected, and she has all the antibiotics because she works in medical and she always has a lot of illnesses anyway. So I was like, "Hey, Mom, I need some antibiotics for like this." And she was like, "What do you need antibiotics for?" And I was like, "My nipples are infected." She was like, "Why?" I was like, oh my god. So that was.
so what had happened was, yeah, no, I just imagine that.
I was
You know,
depressed.
you know, your grandma or uncle or whatever, your great aunt who's on Facebook looking at memes sees that, you know, obviously the main thing is just don't stream under like your personal account. You make a separate page and all that. So
I
it's
mean,
just,
I
you know,
have a separate page.
yeah.
I've
And
had it for
yeah,
like 4 years, but if you like,
if
it's
you
listed
share
on my
it, if you do,
personal
yeah.
I'm the owner of that page.
Mhm.
So if they just click that name in my bio, bam, they are watching my fucking stream.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No,
Oh,
I
my
get
mom
it. I get it 100%. I get it. And that's one of my things too. And a lot of people I still think, and this is something that, you know, when Mixer changed over and a lot of people had, you know, from the partnership side of things, a lot of communities and everybody else were anti-Mixer because they want to keep their personal lives. And Facebook is not the the strongest safe when it comes to personal information. So and I
not,
get that
man.
110%, and that's, you know, a lot of communities. But the other side, you know, it's, you know, I could see a little bit on both sides. Or some of the things that Facebook said about, you know, accountability, people, you know, somewhat, well, at least pre-COVID, you know, being a little bit more hesitant to be shitty under, you know, because they're under a personal account and not a pseudonym. So like, and there are
That's
certain
true,
things like
too.
that, you know, and I agree with that. But that being said, also, if you want to chat in anybody's stream, and this is what I told my mods and everything else, if you guys want to come over and help out, all you have to do is just create a page and you can chat as that page. So you can chat as Kdog like I do. So I mean, same kind of thing. If that's interesting, but that's off topic. But that's like what I'm saying is how this is going to have Apple. This whole thing will have repercussions in a lot of different ways, not just the mobile gaming and not just Fortnite. It's going to reverberate throughout the gaming industry and streaming industry in a lot of different ways that we're going to see over the next year or two, you know, as this court battle rages on. We'll see what this Unreal thing does at the end of September when they have this follow-up court hearing, whether or not Unreal goes away. You know, we'll see, you know.
Holy shit, that would fucking suck, man. But hey, it would
It's
be
only
weird
on
for
mobile.
Unity.
Yeah, it's only on mobile. But yeah, Unity shares, guys. Buy now, because if fucking that shit gets,
because if Epic wins, Unity's kind of fucked, you know.
you never know. Yeah, but I
Maybe-
mean,
maybe
but
not.
you could
They
have
still have
2
a place in
years.
mobile gaming.
You could have
Yeah.
2 years of just great stocks, and then as Epic gets close to winning that battle, you just sell, and you're good to go. You know. But I mean, at
It's
that
funny,
point,
too.
the same thing though.
Stocks are so crazy.
Once a developer builds in Unity, like I said, that's why people are already abandoning Unreal, because they're not sure. You want to have guarantee. So even if
Right, your whole career is on the line right now with a lawsuit.
Yeah,
if I
so-
was a creator, I
yeah,
would
I'm
be
gonna
like,
go.
"Fuck it.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna
Unreal,
continue
let's go to
building
Unity for a
Unity.
bit."
Yeah, because even
Yeah.
still, you want to know something that's gonna be there, and Unreal might not be there. Whether they win or lose, I don't want to run that risk as a developer of it not being there, not getting updates for my game, not being, having a bug that counters with iOS 15. Whatever, I don't even know how Apple
we're on
works.
14, thank
Whatever, I don't fucking know.
14 comes out next month.
I have not updated my phone the longest time. I don't even know where it's at.
Apple, yeah.
I only know that 14
Apple
comes out next
sucks.
month because 14 is going to like revolutionize the whole iOS system. It's basically turning it into an Android system.
So it's basically
that
turning
might
it
make
into
my
the
phone
Android
inept then.
system
They're
that
gonna-
they
they're
had
gonna
like
have
5 years
most
ago.
of the things that Android has, like there's going to be an app library instead of just
Oh.
having them all on your home screen.
Oh.
You're going to be able to have widgets, and you're going to be able to hide
Apple.
apps. You know.
Welcome to 2020. Thanks for
I
joining
know,
us.
right? All right.
Wait, what up is it on already?
I don't-
We're on 13 something right now, but 14 is what's coming up in the next
Yeah,
couple
my
of
phone needs to update to iOS 12.
Oh, God.
I haven't updated my phone. Yeah, I have a iPhone 5S. That's how long far back I
Oh,
am.
yeah, that's an old phone. Yeah,
I have a
old
Google
phone.
Pixel, so I'm an Android boy.
I-
So
The only Android phone that I would give up my iPhone for would be a Pixel.
I mean,
So,
honestly, because it isn't.
can't
It's a
fault you.
balance
Pixels are
between.
fucking
It's
amazing.
it's a middle ground between an iPhone and like an Android, like a
really is. It
Samsung.
has the quality and the streamline, nice lookingness of an iPhone, but it has the
Except for this weird
flexibility and
pop socket I
customization of
have
an
on the
Android,
back.
yeah.
You know, that's the only thing that's a little awkward on it.
I took mine off like the day that shit happened. I was like, nah. fuck
I need a
this,
new
my life's
one.
It's
over.
still there.
I need a new one. I was so happy to get this pop socket too when I got it. You know.
Oh, this was my hoodie. The hoodie was the thing I was excited for.
I was
cute. I
excited for
never
the
used
hoodie
pop socket
also
before that.
until they put my name on it wrong, and they're like, "Well, you entered it in wrong in the thing,"
Oh,
and I'm like,
no.
"I'm 99% sure I didn't, but whatever. Can I reorder it? And like, I will pay if you guys make it and reorder, so that way my K is capitalized because they put it all lowercase, and it just looks awkward. And also,
Yeah.
it was like too big. Like I ordered, I'm like, okay, this I normally get like my PAX hoodie was medium, fits perfectly. Ordered the medium on this, fucking, I felt like I was wearing a fucking giant trash bag.
Yep,
So I was like,
mine's
hey.
way too big as well.
Yeah,
My t-shirt's
like,
fine.
can I will pay. Can I get another partner hoodie, like, just with it, like, in small and in this? And they're like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, really? Like, I can't even pay for it? Like, I'm not asking for it free. Like, just next time you guys make a batch, like, fucking, like, let me buy it.
The cool thing is that now Mixer's not
No,
even
it
a
doesn't
fucking
matter.
company, so
No-
their logo is not copyrighted anymore. So you
True.
can put that shit on whatever you want in your own merch, right?
Yep.
Who's gonna sue you?
Well,
Mixer?
yeah. I mean, Microsoft still may sue. Technically, they still the copyright is still there, so they're like, don't go.
Probably, but
Yeah,
Microsoft
but I don't think
obviously did
Microsoft
their
is gonna
shit.
follow up on anybody. Then again, Microsoft didn't follow up on anybody. That was one of my biggest issues. I would look at people's merch and I would be like, you are violating so many laws right now.
Yeah,
like,
know.
I
People
was.
put Mixer shit all over their merch.
Yeah, and I was
"You're
just
not
like,
even supposed to-"
you're-
It says when
you're-
you down with the pictures, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's like this is violating copyright laws left and fucking right, but they never followed up on any of that.
Shit.
Yep.
Microsoft didn't buy Mixer so that they could literally just
Mhm.
own it, operate it. They wanted their tech, and that's all they got. That's all they wanted. They took that tech and they're using it for their new games and stuff. So
Mhm. Yep, the same thing they're thinking about doing with TikTok. I can't wait to see what happens there. You know, destroy another thing. Anyways, moving on. We talked about that. We'll be talking about this. I don't know what JoJo's doing. I don't. That just looks.
oh, I was blowing dust off my keyboard.
Oh, that just looked really awkward. I'm just gonna say, like, Nick, are you there? Nick, where are you at? Like, I don't.
Deep fried chicken. Nick deep fried the chicken, but when he deep fried it, the batter all fell off and it was really crispy. So when I was eating it, like little crumbs fell into my keyboard.
Yeah.
I was eating it earlier, you cuck.
I'm gonna.
It's okay. I clipped it. We'll watch it later and be like, what does this look like to you guys? Anyways, moving right along.
Like a
So, just announced, a lot of people are already talking about it. Of course, like my friend Charlie, of course, was posting on Twitter. If you guys haven't seen, Logitech has announced
I'm excited.
Yeah, a new color line similar to, like, you know, Razer has their, you know, they were the first ones kind of do it, like their iconic, like the cat ears.
Is all pink. At
I
least
know,
this
yeah.
one is like, you want this color or this color or this color or this
Yeah,
color.
so
And I'm like,
yeah, it is really cool. I have the launch video here. Go ahead and we can look at that kind of cool little thing. But so they have announced their kind of different little color line that allows, and I think I'm out of order. There we go. So a couple different kind of like pastels, and I like pastels. So I would
kill a person for that purple.
Yeah, the purple looks solid. The purple and blue I really like.
I predict it selling out quickly. I want a mouse and maybe a keyboard. I can't use Logitech headsets anymore.
That's
the purple one reminds me a lot of like the SNES controller as well, which I kind of like.
What's that little commercial though?
Yeah, like it's an awesome little commercial. Like they're good at their market. Like they you know, they are capitalizing on the gaming market right now.
And my thing that I like about this is all of it has wireless options. Which, I mean, I don't have
the keyboard.
If I did, Logitech's the one to go to. They rule the wireless market.
So.
Oh, I tried to cancel on your stream.
Good job. Good job. So the couple things about it, and I will say it looks great. I agree. I really like the color. I like the purple. I like the blue. Very similar. The only so it has the couple of the ones that are included are the G305 and G203 mouse, which is the same mouse, just wireless or not wireless, just the different numbers for them. The G915 10 keyless keyboard, and then the new headset, which is the flagship version of it. The headset is which is kind of the main thing that's like a new release. It's $130. They're definitely banking off of what Razer kind of did with that release of like the pink headset with the kitty ears. Like that's kind of what they're going for, and Razer was like the first one to do this. They're trying to capitalize on that as well. No kitty ears included with it because that would obviously be a blatant copy. But what they do have, drum roll, is comes with 5 foam mic covers.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, I saw these. This made me free.
For $10, you can have a mic cover that's either a mustache, puckered lips, thumbs up, a star, or a heart.
I'm out.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Like, that was your best idea that you had, guys? Like,
picture?
come on.
I'm the kind of person that I would buy that just for hilarity. Like,
if you find a picture, Ryan, send it to me and I'll pull it up quick.
I don't have my microphone on this headset, but
well, that's part of the other thing and what I was going to bring up. So this is obviously like really this is what you're doing. So this whole line, like I said, I like it. The $130, whatever. The whole line though is not. It's not a, and I don't want to sound hipsterish or elitist or anything like that. This whole line, quality-wise, though, it's not a pro or serious gamer line of peripherals.
Oh my
wow, elitist right out the bat. I'm just kidding.
But I don't want to sound, but I mean,
that's usually how it goes with gaming. Is you can't have something that's super effective and pretty.
Yeah, and that's what I hate. So this is
like everything's pink, and you're like, okay, what was this, like $400 total?
Yeah, like it's a lower end. It's their lower end mouse. You know, like if this was released on the Pro, like the G Pro wireless and the G Pro, which it's pretty much the same fucking mouse, just a better sensor.
My
Done.
mouse is
Sold.
the G600. I have one of those mice with like 30 buttons on
Yeah,
it.
which you know this. Yeah,
yeah,
similar to like the Naga and all that. Yeah, and I have one of those for MOBAs and all that as well.
They still sell it, so I bought one.
So, but I mean, like the headset, it's a $130 headset. It's along the quality lines. You're looking at the same quality as like an Arctis 3.
Yeah.
Like we're not even, you know,
I've
maybe
used
a
Logitech
5.
headsets before. There was definitely nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
I only used the one, and once it broke, I was like, yeah, never
Yeah,
again.
I mean,
so.
I love if I were to buy a gaming headset right now, I would use the Arctis Pro. I would take those over Astros, and I love my Astros, but I've tried both. But I mean, that's the higher end. You're talking, you know, $200-$300, whatever the higher end ones, and that's kind of my personal issue with this. And what I would say to like Charlie was like looking at it, and other people, if you are a pro gamer looking at this, yeah, they look pretty. But even like talking, you know, us as streamers, they have, you know, the peripherals, you know, look at the mustache thing, you know, and all that, you know, the little.
I would get this set for my streaming PC, but not for my gaming.
Yeah,
PC.
and that's
You know,
so like these are the mic
house.
attachment things here that go on the end of your mic to cover that. Which, like I said, it obviously is only good if you're on camera, and obviously is very meme worthy. But the other side of that is, anybody who's streaming really professionally, how many people are actually using their mic, like on their headset? Like,
no,
yeah, nobody. Yeah, nobody is. That's really.
$50, you can get a USB mic. So,
Yeah, yeah. So anybody who's streaming or anything that like visually, so I think this is 100% a miss, because this is all just for visual, and you know, it's for people like maybe seeing you, but anybody who's streaming,
for your really basic kawaii gamer.
Yeah, like.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up.
Yeah, at least like the ears, like that's, you know, that shows even without it. But most people aren't using the mic. Yeah. Yeah, even like a, you know, a lot of people are using just like a simple Blue Yeti or something like that, and it's not. I think that's a miss.
As bad as it is, without filtering, is going to be leaps and bounds better than a headset mic.
Yeah, exactly.
A headset mic that's only $130.
So anybody streaming is going to use that instead of the in-headset mic that has that little microphone like peripheral to make it look like snazzy, whatever. I don't. Oh, my internet may have crashed for the 17th time. Are you guys still there?
Guardian Phantom. Fuck.
Wait, which one is it?
Hey, we get a new Ryan intro again. We're back with Ryan. My simple little intro thing. Hold on, wait, hold on. Are we officially like live before we do the thing? Does everybody see me?
I think you are.
Wait.
I'm waiting for it.
Wait. This streamer is using an eye tracking extension. Got it.
Oh, are you?
Oh yeah, I have my eye tracker on. The only thing that I don't like about my eye tracker is that it counts as like an overlay, and Twitch only allows one overlay. So any of like the Hyperscape, when Destiny, like their kind of stuff, like all of that, like will kick it off if I want to use any of those, which kind of sucks. Like I wish they were allowed to, because I just keep it on like all the time and that kind of thing. But anyways, hey, I don't know if anybody's still there. I posted in my Discord that we're back, so we're just gonna keep talking, and I started the recording again, so I'll just do the little, like, you know, little bit of editing, and we'll pretend that the last 45 minutes didn't happen. Yeah, anyways, so Logitech colors, yeah, RGB. Oh, that is one thing that we actually didn't talk about on the headphones, even though they're like $130, because for gamers, I did have in my notes, there's a little tiny like RGB strip on the front, so they are definitely like appealing to the gamers. Like there's just like a little...
I want to buy them so bad.
If they were better quality, I would. Like if it was a decent, if like I would vouch for them. Like if it was a decent set of headphones, if it was decent gear, but it's like they're turning into like the Apple of... To
be fair, the headphones probably aren't terrible, because it's hard to make a bad headset, but they are wireless. And I can say that I had a wireless Logitech headset before, and it didn't even last me a year. So
yeah,
like the lithium battery in it just went kaput. So
yeah, I think it's for the casual gamer, like, and $130 is a lot for the casual gamer, and I get that. But you know, if you're a serious gamer, you're getting the A40s, the A50s, the Arctis Pros, the, you know, that kind of stuff. So which kind of sucks, because you don't have the colors there unless you go with Astro and get like their color, whatever, their Astro ID thing, which is something unique to them, which everybody is like, you know, which is something I think that's funny on the mainstream. Yeah, Razer and Logitech are the first ones to do this like mainstream, but Astro, you can get whatever fucking colors you want. if you do that.
Mostly.
So
they have a color wheel.
Yeah, like you can
pre-selected colors, but
you can do
design the whole
snazzy
thing,
stuff. Yeah, so which is cool. Anyways, though, but we'll move right along since all that happened. Yay, Spectrum! I'm so
Yay, I have
excited
Spectrum
to
too.
bitch
I
out
feel
your
your pain.
boss in the morning because it was so nice that the person that I talked to was just like, yeah, that shouldn't be happening, like whatever. Sorry, the last person, like, I see the notes that this has been happening, this should not be, and it's not being addressed, so I'm gonna make sure that you're on my supervisor's docket to call in the morning. Now, most likely I will be asleep, so I'll have to wake up to take that phone call, which will make me very angry. So it'll be a great phone call on my part because I am not a happy person when I first wake up. But yeah, so that should be exciting. But moving right along, next topic was Twitch goodness, which we're all familiar with because Twitch. So Twitch report just came out that for July. It came out like last week or whatever. For July, of course, Twitch viewership overall declined. Not a huge shocker. People are starting to go back to work, COVID, etc., etc. Not a huge shocker because it saw such a huge uptick during Q2 of the year because of COVID. That being said, overall decline, but just chatting and music directories were up still. Even among, like, they continue to increase and go up even after COVID, even after the decline overall of the website. My personal thinking, and I want to see what you guys think, do you think this is representative of a culture shift possibly in the way that Twitch and just online streaming and that is? And that being said, also, before we get an answer, this could also, these numbers could represent things like Mixer people coming over who did just chatting before that are also coming over onto the platform, have just chatting, besides just like, there were a lot of people that kind of did that thing on Mixer, a lot of those bigger ones that hung out. And also just in general, like musicians and all that moving onto Twitch. We saw Logic and things like that making Twitch accounts. Like, is this just a COVID thing, or is this possibly, a premonition of what Twitch might be moving towards a little bit, since we're seeing that increase even as Twitch viewership declines?
So just chatting is still increasing.
Correct. Just chatting and music overall, correct.
I don't know. I feel like it could be a mixture. Like, I feel like it could be affected by all of us Mixer people that came over.
And that's why, like, when I was looking at the dates, that's why I prefaced that.
Also,
yeah.
There's kind of a gaming drought right now. Like,
that's
always how it is before fall hits every year, or autumn. Sorry. That there's always a slight drought because almost nothing comes out in July or August, and sometimes not even September. So I don't know. It's kind of a lot of that. I mean, I know, for instance, when I do stream, I do like a whole hour of just chatting at the beginning. I'm just like getting ready or just catching up with people or doing my makeup or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be that. Also, we don't know really how accurate those numbers are. And what are they counting? Are they counting any viewer that steps into just chatting, or are they counting a stream that's just all just chatting? Like,
it's hours watched is what it is. So the hours watched overall from Twitch has gone down. But just chatting is up over 10 million hours in the last month.
Many.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. I don't know.
It's a shift. I think
166 to 176 million hours watched.
What, from last?
From June to July, according to the numbers and that I saw. So that was like the average.
Like a shift in, the whole spectrum of Twitch in general, but I don't know. Maybe it's just this year people just need to talk.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
I think it's
agreed.
when I never
want
used
to play
do
games really.
Yeah, sometimes I never used to do it back on Mixer, but like I still with a lot of people when we came over as well. I think maybe because we always want people to talk to. It was like, it's nicer to start with it, even if it's only for like 20 minutes or a half an hour, or even if like you're in the middle of a big game session, like, hey, you know what? We're in a break. Let's just talk and change to just chatting. And so I've done it quite a few times, and I never used to do it before.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like you said, want someone to talk to, you know what I mean? And especially during everything that's going on, and the gaming drought, like you said, is like Yeah, I can see it why it's popular. I definitely like it as well. I don't necessarily go looking for just chatting though, but I can see the appeal.
Yeah, I agree. It's that, and that's kind of why I said like the mixer thing. You have us coming over, like, and I think that's why I mentioned it. Where a lot of us were used to hanging out and talking with chat, and we didn't like necessarily have a directory. And I would switch sometimes, but because of Twitch the way it is and everything else, we might start out for that hour just chatting to our communities because we're used to that. Like, and I will say that was one of the big differences, in my opinion, between Twitch and Mixer, is that it was a lot more very, ingrained with the community, very, reliant might be a good term, but also like it was very community based, like it felt like kind of like family, like your viewers, everything else, you talked with them, them, they know you, etc., etc. Not saying that doesn't happen on Twitch, but there is a little bit of a difference from what I've seen going around on Twitch streams. So and that's why I mentioned that these numbers could be a little bit different because of the Mixer influx, because this is the month that a lot of people kind of really came over that they're analyzing. You figure June into July, and those numbers like kind of changing and going up. So a lot of former Mixer people could be quote unquote inflating these numbers because they are just chatting with their commuters.
There were 1,500 of just partners.
Yeah, just partners.
To mention anyone that wasn't a partner on Mixer. I mean, there were how many streamers? I think there was around 20. They said there was around 20,000 active streamers on Mixer.
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure 20,000 people collectively could inflate up to 10 million views. I mean,
yeah, 10 million hours of that's kind of like
people on Mixer are also now some of the top people on Twitch. Like some people are consistently pulling like 500 plus viewers. That's really good. So
yeah, exactly.
They're not in just chatting, so that's also weird.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's. I think that a lot of us coming over might have had something to do with it, like I said, because the community base, and us just switching to just chatting, even for like an hour, just getting to talk with our viewers, because we didn't really have that before. Like I said, we didn't. Yeah. We had, what was it called that we had?
IRL.
Yeah, well, there was IRL, but there was something else.
Webshow.
Webshow. Yeah, I always did like Webshow. Which
already.
Which didn't really
IRL,
apply.
But there was also Webshow.
Yeah, like Webshow, but the Webshow didn't really like apply. Like I used it obviously for this.
Sometimes I would prefer to go into Webshow because IRL would bring in some toxic people. As a woman. So, yeah.
But I mean, just chatting fits that more, and I think maybe a lot of people might be more inclined just to, okay, I'm not playing a game, I'm going to switch over to just chatting and hang out with the community for a bit. And that's kind of where I think maybe some of, these hours might be coming from, and a lot of that weren't there before, because there's a lot of new people on the platform that weren't there before doing that kind of thing. So that's my takeaway. I don't think it's like Jojo said, I don't think it's an overall decline or status shift. I mean, if we see a continual, I personally don't think it's that. I think it's just an influx of people who have communities to talk to, and a drought in games right now. People are tired of watching the same old shit. Cyber.
We'll get some sort of article about Fall Guys raised everything back up again.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about like later. I have it in my notes for Fall Guys. Like Fall Guys, I know it's your game. It's not for me. It is definitely not for me. Like I'll play it with friends, like, and I'll play it with you, and then I'll lose and I'll feel really bad about myself. But like, I don't see how somebody plays it constantly. But as a viewer, I get it. And as a streamer to the viewer side of it, dude, like it has gotten Tim the Tapman for instance, because he never won for so long, but he had his top views ever playing it. Stone Mountain, who is like my favorite, like he is like my idol when it comes to streaming. Had his highest views until today. Like he peaked today because of the COD reveal, and he's been doing a lot of COD. But like so many streamers have peaked because of Fall Guys, because it is fun to watch. Which that is, for all other games. But I think partly because it is so simple, and I think, like you said, there is a gaming drought. What else has come out?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of games, but they're not big games. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
there's
Like,
nothing out
people
right
wouldn't
now.
have been so into Fall Guys had it not
Had
gone
something else been
viral.
out. Yeah, exactly. It went
Right,
viral
it
because
kind of it
what the
went
fuck else are
viral.
we playing? Everybody's bored of, even Apex had a new season, Warzone, like everybody's like, okay, it's a new season, but it's the same shit that we're already.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I thought Fall Guys was gonna flop when I played the alpha because I was like, this will never succeed unless they put like closed lobbies in for streamers to play with their communities. Because like, think about how fun that would be if 60
Oh yeah,
people from your
100%.
chat could all
And
join in, right? Like,
that's
that would be so
they
fun.
have to move that way. There's no way they
still
don't.
haven't done that.
They
It's been
need
out for
to
a
though.
month.
The
Yeah,
only
it's
reason
just
it's as big as it is, in my opinion, is because of just a couple big streamers and everything else got into it. Like, and I don't have issues with the game and all that. I just think it's a fad, and if they are going to make it better, like Jojo said, they need to do custom lobbies. They need to do something else because
I want those custom lobbies.
it's yeah, and it would be great. But like Jojo said, that was the same exact thing. My first impressions, I'm like, this is such a fad game. Like 110%.
It's
You know,
so genuinely fun, but I'm turned off to it because, like I said earlier, I don't have a win, but it's completely dependent on all the people around you.
Mhm.
If
Oh,
one
absolutely.
person is an
So
if
let
one
me
person
play-
is an asshole,
Yeah.
you just don't win.
So
Like,
let me
we
play with
saw
my
that in
community.
countless
Let me,
videos.
yeah.
Right. Countless videos of him, like, would get to the finish line and then some asshole would just grab him and hold him. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, if you gave me a solo option to run those courses, I would fucking ace them.
Yeah, exactly.
because
Like, let
there's
me do like
59 other
time-wise and all that.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And then another thing is, I understand maybe not having full private lobbies, but why not open the party size to like 8 or even 6, like something more than 4? Like, it's just, I don't know. I
insane.
don't think they were prepared.
I don't think so either. But
They
we'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. I don't want to get to it, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about it.
It just peeves me.
Yeah.
peeves me a
No,
lot.
I know. Well, I have
won't
notes
love
at the
it.
end. We'll get there. We'll get there. That was the last thing we were going to talk about. But yeah, no, Twitch viewership. I'm curious to see as into the next month as things start opening up in the US. Obviously, Ryan luckily not here. COVID is still an issue and people don't, but things are opening back up and a lot of stuff's happening, so viewership will obviously decline because people aren't as home, not doing things as much. But that being said, even still, I'm curious how the ratio goes, if something like just chatting keeps going up in comparison, or if it's just because games aren't coming out right now, you know. And we'll know truly when we hit that winter season of things like Cyberpunk and COD and things like that, because we are kind of in that drought right now, partially because of COVID, partially because this time of year, all of those things combined to what the fuck do I play right now? So, anyways.
Oh, yeah, level editor would be awesome too.
A level editor would be kind of fun, you know.
That would be so
But that's
fun.
it goes into custom lobbies, like, and I still say same thing, like, and I've said that about,
The sky is the fucking limit with that game. They just have to wrap their balls around their faces and do it.
you know, we'll talk about it later. Here, let me write down what I was about to say. But you know,
I diverse.
and I know Ryan has plenty to say, because I know I think you were an alpha person or something like that. Also, I know you guys have played it. So, but we'll cover that. We'll cover that here shortly. Moving on. The other besides COD. COD kind of took the banner this week for big trailers and reveals. The other one was Gotham Knights, which came out,
yeah.
what? I think Ryan and I think we both like mentioned on each other on Twitter. It was what, Friday or Saturday or something like that, right? It was just the other day. I can't remember when it was.
Sunday.
But
Saturday.
yeah, I have the link in the Discord. I'm not gonna, even the reveal trailer and everything, or the gameplay trailer, was like 5 minutes, and I don't want to watch the whole thing. But
I think it was like 8 minutes actually.
well, the one that I sent to you guys in that link, like the game, that was the gameplay analysis, but like the reveal trailer
okay,
is
yeah.
like 4 minutes about it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the more like gameplay.
Where he's
is
like,
like
"I'm
8
dead."
minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, the cinematic trailer, Bruce Wayne comes out, you know, everybody gets a text and a video message saying, hey, I'm dead, save the city. And this goes out to Nightwing, Robin, who I think in this scenario is, I would assume, probably the youngest. I don't know if it's his son with Talia. I don't know if that's the one, or if it's the one above that.
It's the one after, or the one, one
yeah,
before,
the one
probably.
before that, which is Tim.
Tim Drake.
Was Tim right before him? I think Tim Drake was right. I'm trying to remember because it was Jason.
Jason Todd is Red Hood.
Yeah, Jason. Yeah, Jason is the Red Hood. Then Tim Drake. Then
Wayne.
Yeah, which is his son with Talia. So I think I don't think that it's Damien from what I gather just from a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't seen one way or the other. I don't think it's him. I think it's the one above. I think it's Tim Drake. But you have Nightwing, you have Batgirl, not paralyzed or anything. So you have Nightwing, Batgirl, you have Red Hood, and you have Robin. Obviously an Arkham style of game. The question is like how it fits into the continuity of the Arkham games is what my biggest takeaway is. Does it actually fall after the last Arkham game? I think there might be some continuity errors because if the Nightfall Protocol does go live, it doesn't. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say because I don't see it working if it is supposed to. I think it has to be a somewhat separate universe. There's no way. They
confirmed earlier in an interview that it's not in the Arkhamverse, and they're looking to make this as the new thing.
Okay.
That was an IGN article I read earlier with like the developers zone.
Okay, yeah, I was looking for that, and that's what I was thinking because it just doesn't make sense for them to try and fit it in. That being said, I personally am okay with that. This is a new game, a new IP almost. It's obviously based in the Batman universe, but you play as one of those 4 characters. I personally have always been a Nightwing fan, 110%. Like, I will be playing Nightwing from start to fucking finish. Nightwing is my fucking boy. If I had a half decent body, I would cosplay as him all the fucking time. Nightwing has just been, I don't know why, ever since like growing up, like Nightwing has been my shit. Like I have loved Nightwing.
With Thor.
Yeah,
I'm like that with Thor. I'm like, Thor's my bitch.
Yeah, like I've loved Nightwing. Like Batman was like, okay, he's this old guy that has a lot of tech, but Nightwing was like this younger guy that like came up like the gymnast. I did gymnastics when I was younger. Like, I mean, like everything about Nightwing, I was like, fucking Nightwing is me. Like, I love Nightwing. You know, he's the original Robin, grew up, matured, and became, you know, Nightwing and did his own thing. So I'll be playing as him. But so you have him and obviously the other couple that I mentioned. There are some things, looking at the gameplay elements, you have like RPG elements to it, which I'm kind of excited for. Not obviously like hardcore RPG, but things like crafting and, you know, a little bit more in depth than the traditional, even Arkham, like unlocking skills type of thing. So I'm curious how that plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more information about that. Hesitantly positive, personally. And then, but that being said, it does show in the trailer, like I said, linked in the Discord. It does show at the end, obviously, even what they were talking about before, which is the Court of Owls storyline. Which is the underlying kind of, you know, society that, you know, fucks up like Gotham, yada yada yada. So that is kind of revealed there, and a lot of people thought that this was just gonna be around Batman dealing with them. Obviously, in this game, it's gonna be kind of around his successors dealing with them, and I think 99% of us assume that Bruce Wayne and Batman isn't really dead, even though he says so in the trailer. Like, come on, like. I think majority of us probably agree that he's not really dead. He's been dead a lot of times.
I mean, I've never played a Batman game. I know about Batman and the story, but I've never played a Batman game.
Dude, the Arkham games are so good.
Yeah, I've heard really good things
They're
about
so
them.
good. But so that is I'll open it up here in a second, but I think a lot of people are the main detractor here. And this is the first thing I want to touch on. The main detractor that I see is that people are upset, especially with the Court of Owls that they've been teasing. The main detractor that I've seen is that people are upset that Batman is not who you play this game. Personally, I'm okay with that. I think there's been enough Batman games. I am ready to play Nightwing. I want to play somebody somebody else. But
Where's my
what do you
fucking
guys
Thor
think?
video game? Damn it!
Hey, Avengers comes out
How
soon.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Play
I
Avengers.
just want a game about Thor. Nobody else. But that'll be fun. I'm excited. I've watched gameplay of Avengers. Looks great.
But
Although I don't think the Hulk should be killable. Obviously.
I mean, yeah, that's different. So,
It goes without
the
saying.
Avengers could definitely. I think the Avengers could use a little work. I think that it touches base a little
haven't
bit on
played
what
I
it
just
should be.
watched it.
See, this is where it comes into my answer for this
Yeah.
about things.
Talk.
So,
The court of owls is yours.
I remember hearing about this in Suicide Squad, like domains being registered back in June, and there was leaks about this, and so I was, oh, this is exciting. Avengers was my most anticipated game of the year, and then I played the beta. I'm still excited for it. I've still pre-ordered it. However, I don't like the whole, four-player co-op, like stuff, and like I'm gonna enjoy Avengers for what it is as a single-player game, but I'm not this like service as a games as a service thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna keep playing it after a month or two. It's like, no, I'll be done after it in 2 weeks. Then I hear about this on Saturday, watch the trailer, I'm like, oh no, this looks kind of the same thing. And the more I read about it, though, it does seem like they're like, oh, so only 2-player co-op. You can play the whole thing in single player. It's not games as a service at all. And then I was like, oh, why are there just like random numbers about this? Says, oh, they're level gating it. Also not level gated is what I was reading earlier. And so the more and more I see about optimistic, the thing with me is like you say, I'm happy to not be playing as Batman. The thing is, you take what made Batman as one character, you split it between 4, and so it's like from what I've seen, Batgirl is the one I'm more gearing towards, with Nightwing second. Because to me, Red Hood looks a bit too tanky. But yeah, it's weird. Like I'm like, oh, who am I gonna play as? And it's like, can you switch completely on the fly in the game? It's like, or do I need to be like, I'm gonna be Batgirl from A to B? And so I need to see more of it to be excited, I guess. Like of the two, with Suicide Squad as well being revealed, I'm way more excited for that, just from what I've kind of seen. But I'm still excited for it, and I know there are a lot of people out there excited for it, so I just need to see more of it.
Yeah,
really.
I agree. I would like to know if it's something that do you choose a mission and you play as that person, or is it like, can you theoretically swap out? Like, you know, have been games where you press buttons or something like that and you like swap characters and kind of, you know, that kind of thing. Like, so like, and you know, just the idea of the game is like they're all there on the mission and then they're like swapping out to like fight, kind of like that's how it fits in a little bit. I would like to kind of know a little bit more information about that. I don't see them going the same route as from what I've seen of the Avengers game personally, you know, and the Avengers game, I wish it was a little bit better in the looter shooter kind of category RPG, because it leaves something to be disappointed, or at least something that I would like for me. But that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're talking about. But this, like, obviously they ditched a little bit of the Arkham combat, which I'm not disappointed, but at the same time I am. I need to see how their combat really works. Like, what we've seen so far is snippets.
Very gadget heavy.
Yeah, like it's very different than what we're used to from Arkham style games, which was a very stylish, a defining aspect of the series. And it was great, don't get me wrong. And I'm not saying it has to be that. I don't want to, you know, and that's another detractor that I've seen a lot of people saying, like, oh, it doesn't have the Arkham combat. It's not an Arkham game. Like, I'm not saying, like, I am all for evolution and growing. I just want to see more information before I say one way or the other. Like, I don't mind taking a little bit off of it. Because, you know, you could go even, like, lore-wise saying, obviously, these people aren't Batman. They fight differently, so there's a different combat system. And that's perfectly fine. You know, I just want to see a little bit more. I don't want a button mashing, but at the same time, you know, like, I don't know.
It's some of the liberties, though, as well, with, like, the way they're talking about combats. Like, I remember in the gameplay demo, it's like, oh, Robin's here. Oh, the way Robin gets around these higher areas is he can transport with the Justice League satellite. It's like,
yeah, so it's
really?
like, so yeah, but I mean, the other side of it is like, yeah, there's like some teleporting thing, but also like there's, if you go into certain like comic things, depending on where, like if you're going like building to building, yeah, But also, if you're talking like Young Justice or shit like that, like they have fucking teleportation pods that they can use. So like I could see, like, depending on how they're building that into the lore, like that could almost work. Like, obviously, like if he all of a sudden is like going from one rooftop to the next, that doesn't work. But if they are like, okay, he got here because like that's how Robin does it, but Nightwing flies the old Batwing, and this, like, I could see how they could build that in, because they're like, okay, Robin took the fucking transporter that the Justice League, kind of build and uses, like, like there are different ways they could build that into lore, and I did see that as well. It's just how they do it, and I agree, it's gonna be very analyzed. At the end of the day, comic book nerds are one of the most annoying fucking fan bases.
Shut up about us. We're right here.
So it's like, I get it. I'm right there. Like, one of the most annoying fan bases, because it's like, actually, it was proven in Young Justice volume 17 that he can't use that teleporter anymore. It's like, oh my god, they're just making something different. So I get it. So I'm not expecting like a huge continuity. Obviously, I like it. Yep, you got it. I'm personally not expecting huge continuity things, but I'm willing to, and this is where the difference is. This is almost a new IP. I want to see somebody besides Batman take the throne. So as long as they build it sound, I am okay with it. I don't need to be 100% accurate with the whole Arkham storyline. If they take like this, they go, hey, this is our universe, because all the comics have a multiverse theory. You just build it right. That's all I'm saying. Just build it correctly, and you're good to go. So, but I mean, guys, the videos are there in the Discord. Put it up again. Like, I have it on the links there for you guys to look at. I'm very optimistic for it, because I love all the Arkham games. I want to play as Nightwing. I've always wanted to cosplay as him, but I would have to wear one of those, like, the like 6-year-olds, how they have like the little puff styrofoam like outfits when they wear like Superman things. I would have to do that as a 31-year-old to play fucking Nightwing. All right.
What, Halloween then?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I would have to do. That
you could be Nightwing in the same sense that Robert Pattinson is playing Batman. He's not a buff guy.
He's bigger than I am, though.
Nightwing.
That's part of the reason I always liked Nightwing, because he was a gymnast. He was slender, so it's like there is the potential there. Like, he's a slim.
You don't gotta match the body type of who you're cosplaying.
It's true. No, I've always actually wanted to cosplay Nightwing, but I just never have. One day we'll get there.
Do it.
And also, I gotta buy a new dancer's belt, because that would be really awkward just walking around the PAX 2021 floor, just like with this like hanging out the side, a little bit. That would just be weird.
Yeah.
For all you guys that don't know, a dancer's belt covers up the penis bulge. Just chat, so you know what I was talking
about. What do you
about.
need one of those for?
Because that's just awkward, seeing like the outline and the tiny little like, hey, look, I see your vein. Like, yeah, that's just weird for a skin tight outfit. Yeah, no bueno. Anyways, I'm excited. I don't know, Jojo, I know you just said you haven't played the Arkham series. Fucking do it. I think they're all on Game Pass, aren't they now? Aren't
Arkham Knights is.
I thought like 2 or 3 of them were. I thought like majority of the Arkham seasons.
I don't know.
It comes and goes from Game Pass so quick.
I was say, yeah.
Red Dead was going like 2 months.
Dude, they're so fucking good. I love them. They are great. The fact that Mark Hamill came back even for the last one, after he said he wasn't going to do another one, like the Arkham City was his last time reprising Joker. He came back to reprise him again, and it was like, oh my god, it's amazing.
What does he have going on? He's got nothing else going on.
No, he's been doing other stuff. All right, let Mark Hamill live his life. Wait, what did he do recently? No, he did something else.
Skywalker was a baby.
No, he did the Star Wars, but he did something else
That is
recently.
really awesome. I think he has a soft spot for voice acting.
Oh yeah,
so
no.
I feel
If
like-
you watch all the interviews and
I
everything,
know
he
voice acts
loves.
a ton of shit.
He
so
loves voice acting. He's always
Yeah.
wanted to get into voice acting. I've watched some like Mark
mean,
Hamill.
Let's be honest. He's better at voice acting than he is at regular
Yeah,
acting.
no, he is.
so-
And but I've watched so many interviews and like I don't love him as Luke. I love him as
No.
Joker from.
Okay, I didn't hate him as Luke.
Oh
just
yeah, I didn't hate him,
Luke.
but I mean obviously
hated
that's
Luke.
generational.
Fucking bitch, man.
Yeah, I think that's somewhat generational gap, you know, and I will say that, but he's the Joker. Like I'm sorry, like you cannot like, but he's also very humble. He is so humble because you watch interviews with him talking about it, like, you know, the animated series and all that, but then he's talking about how all these different people reprise him and the different animated, like the movies and this and that. And he's like, oh man, like this new voice actor, he did this with the Joker. He's like, man, I wish I would have thought of that. Like, that's a great take. Like, and he's just such, he
Really open to criticism.
he really is, and he's such a great voice actor, and he does that. I mean, he's been in Airbender, you know, Avatar. You know, he was in Avatar. He was in
the voice of Chuck in the Child's Play remake. In
yeah, true.
2019.
Dude, he's done so much. I fucking love him. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I love him as Joker. He will always be Joker for me. And so anytime he reprises the role, when he came back for what? It wasn't Arkham City. What was the most recent one? That he came back when he was dead. Arkham Knight, or yeah, because it had the Jason Day and Red Hood and all that kind of stuff. And seeing the whole like psychological breakdown of Batman was just fucking great. And then Mark Hamill just being there, just fucking wigging out and, you know, fucking with Batman was just fucking hilarious. The biggest reveal ever, and, you know, hashtag spoilers, but it's been out for like 6 years, so I don't care. But like him actually like coming back, even though Joker's dead, like that's why they said, oh, this is the last thing. But obviously they reached out to him and said, hey, we're gonna have you inside Batman's mind for this game, and it was fucking great. I absolutely loved it, you know, and having him back in that role and the animated series, just having Mark Hamill there was amazing.
Oh my God, it's 5 years since Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I would say it's been a while, man. That's why I was like,
hell?
it's been.
Dude, we're showing our age.
I know.
Shut
Yep. It's that's why I didn't look up the date. I'm like,
Get out.
it's been a while. I just know it's been a while. All right. You know, do we want to talk about how all of us love Harley Quinn, but she was created in the animated series? Like,
I don't hate Harley Quinn.
no, I said a
think
lot of us like so many people love Harley Quinn, but like she didn't exist until the animated series. Like she was
Yeah,
created for the
I
animated
think
series.
a lot of people don't realize where she originated from, and they think she's just like, oh, Suicide Squad. You know, they don't
No,
understand.
she-
Harley Quinn has so many different forms and roles, and
She was
Still doesn't
created
go on
in
all
the. She didn't exist until what mid late 90s in the Batman the animated series TAS, and she fit. She worked out so fucking well.
she's a great addition to the universe.
Oh, bless me.
Bless
Oh
you.
yeah, absolutely love her. But yeah, like Mark Hamill, like in that, like I've seen like interviews with him talking about the whole, you know, like some of the speeches. Like his favorite speech is like the animated series when he thinks Batman, the random guy kills Batman. Like that's his favorite, one of his favorite episodes he ever did was when some random thug kills Batman, and he ends up like giving a eulogy to Batman, and he still remembers the speech and like how it made him feel as Joker reprising that role, feeling sad because Batman died, but he wasn't the one who did it, and everything else. Like I fucking love it. Like he's amazing. Either way, I assume Joker's not going to be in this. Very Riddler heavy on the trailer. Don't know who's playing it at all. Don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see more. 2021, no confirmed release date yet. Hypotheticals, but no confirmed release date of when it's going to be. I'm excited to play Nightwing. That's all I know. Ryan's going to play Batgirl. He said that already, so at least you don't have to worry about her rolling around in a wheelchair as Oracle, so you're good.
I remember pretty cool if you had like some sort of like hover thing.
Hover wheelchair. Hey, Batgirl is great, don't get me wrong. It's just obviously not in a universe where she gets shot and paralyzed by Joker, so it's fine. Well, there was one universe. What is I think the most recent DC, the relaunch. Doesn't she still get shot, but she goes through rehab and she is okay within 6 months or something like that? I think is how they did it.
I'm not sure.
I think
I don't keep up to date mainly with that comic.
Yeah, I think the recent universe. I think they still played in her getting shot and paralyzed, but I think she goes through rehab and after like 6 months or a year or whatever, she's able to get back out there. I think it still happens. The Killing Joke kind of storyline still happens, but she recovers, I think, is what happens. I don't know. I think that, I don't know. I don't read enough comics. I read more manga than I do comics these days, so I'm a weeb. What can I say? Anyways, yeah, that's Gotham Knights. That was the other big reveal this week besides COD, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing more information about it. When we get more information, we'll talk about it on the show. Closing remarks on Gotham Knights. Anything? Yes, no, maybe so?
Sounds cool. I'll have to play the other 17 games
yeah.
to enjoy it.
I'm more excited for the Suicide Squad game personally. The
Dude,
fact that that's set in the Arkham universe, I'm sure.
I'm intrigued by it. I am intrigued by the Suicide Squad one as well. We'll talk about that one as well when it comes up. Where did... Oh, I think I closed the image for this. But the next thing. So all new DLC, a couple of new games coming out, obviously, but new DLC announced officially for Borderlands. Obviously, one of my favorite series of all time, so I always like talking about it. But the fourth and final DLC for Borderlands was announced this week. And I don't know where the video went because, you know, we went offline for a while. So I think I closed. Yeah.
I have it.
I had the tab open and then it closed. Yeah.
Loud? It's in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Huh?
Oh,
That's just the actual YouTube link.
Yeah, no, that works. All right.
Yeah, I pulled it from the article.
Yeah. I had it open earlier, but then it disappeared. So,
yeah.
All right. Anyways,
I restarted my computer 8 times, so.
Oh, yep. So Ryan's not showing because I had to resize it. So Ryan, if you talk, we'll just you're my emblem. So I had to, like, Ryan's camera was messing up when I restarted, so I didn't fix it on this scene. I apologize. Anyways, he is the man behind the screen. Anyways, so new Borderlands trailer officially announced, the fourth and final DLC for Borderlands 3. Obviously, I love this game. Have loved it. I'm gonna go ahead and play it. We'll talk a little bit about it here in a second, but it's about Krieg, and we knew it was gonna be about Krieg. Borderlands is great.
Say hello
like,
to a torturing nightmare! Aboard the pain wagon!
This trailer messed me up.
It's
With
just
the
following
frickin'
an angry
what's it called? It's like
train into a strange
no.
portal.
That thing catch you out.
What's the worst that could happen?
Open bestiality!
It's sesame, you meathead.
Motherfucking Krieg.
Maestro.
You thought the button.
Hope you're up for some weird stuff, Vault Hunter.
September 10th. So initially, point out a couple things before we get into it. I don't know. I don't think either of you guys are as huge Borderlands freaks as I am. But I will say, trailer, absolutely love personally. It reminds me of the Claptrap kind of part of the expansion, in that the Moon expansion from 2, where you went into Claptrap's mind and kind of, you know, fucked around, and he kind of did things. So it was very similar in that regard. Fourth and final DLC. Inside Krieg's mind, level cap is increased. The story premise behind it is that Krieg, or that what's her face? Fuck, I'm blanking on the name and I didn't write it down. The scientist chick.
Just right now, Patricia
Tannis, yeah, Tannis. There we go. So Tannis, the story premise behind it is that they're trying to find the reason that psychos are going crazy, pretty much. The reason that psychos go crazy, that storyline. So they go inside Krieg's mind, who was a DLC kind of character in Borderlands 2 that kind of came to fame and was just awesome. So that's the story behind that, and you go inside Krieg's mind in this one. And what they realize is that the knowledge of what's called Vault Hala is part of the reason for it. Yeah, but it's and so that's kind of the reason that it drives psychos mad, and they kind of go and pursue that inside Krieg's mind. Obviously, Krieg, a great character. Another big takeaway is that since we're inside his mind, of course, Maya is back. And as far as I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Maya that he had a thing with, right? Like, yeah. I'm trying to remember. Like, I'm 99% sure, like, he had a... So that's why she's back. She died, obviously, in the main storyline of Borderlands 3. Hashtag spoilers, but it's been out for a while. If you don't know that, I'm sorry. It's not like I'm revealing something that happened 2 months ago. Maya been dead. Maya dead. But she's back. And that was, like, during that trailer, you know. That was, like, during that trailer, though. Like, when I saw Maya, I was like, oh, shit, because she's in Krieg's mind. So... I'm excited. I'm fucking excited. Like, I have not played really any of the DLCs, partly because I put them off because I wanted to play with my community, and there were a couple people that were playing it on Xbox. The couple of people I played with it on PC stopped playing, so I wanted to play it on, you know, cross-play with people on Xbox without having to buy a new game, and that never happened, even though it was supposed to, so, you know. But, that being said... looks fucking awesome. I don't know. Like, I don't have... Ryan, I feel like JoJo is not a Borderlands person. I feel like we've had this kind of thing. Ryan, are you a Borderlands person?
I hate Borderlands. Yeah. It's not the kind of game that my small group of friends I usually play with plays. Like, they don't like Borderlands. Mm-hmm. So if it's the kind of game where if I played it, I'd have to play by myself or with other people. Mm-hmm. So I haven't... Like, we played 2 very briefly. We sprinted through 2 like 5 years ago or so, but that's pretty much it. I love the artwork style of it. I don't know if I love the combat of it so much. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's you know,
it's wonky. It's definitely different, but it's not bad. I would play through it. Like I said, I just need more people. Dude, I'm very much like a multiplayer kind of person. Even if it's like a full single player game, I can do it, but if there's any multiplayer for it, I would rather do multiplayer.
Jojo, so. If I will gift you Borderlands if you buy the rest of the DLC and come play it with me, because I absolutely like Borderlands is up there as one of my favorite series of all time. Like, Borderlands is ahead of Gears, and I love Gears, but I love the humor, I love the design, everything about Borderlands. I think that the creators, everything from the Telltale side of it to the Borderlands universe, I love. You know, it's not up there with Fallout. Like, I'm a huge Fallout. Like, I have tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Fallout, but really Borderlands is up there. I love the humor. I love the lore. I love all of that. And then, like, right below that is Gears, and I love that too. But yeah, 4th and final DLC, level cap increase. I mean, it's a huge final announcement and coming out. You know what? It said September 11th, right? I didn't write that down. 10th. So another thing next month to add on to the docket of 17,000 other things that I've been talking about.
I know, right?
Ryan, I think I cut you off. Continue.
Oh, no, I was just saying, Borderlands is actually something, or 3 specifically, but it's Alex who's actually in chat with the guy who I was going to play it with in September when it came out. But things happened and I didn't end up playing it, and it's, again, like Joe's saying, I don't want to play this by myself, and so I put it off. Never actually finished Borderlands 3. I have all the DLC because I have the Ultimate Edition. Yeah, Love 1, Love 2, pre-sequel, Tales from Borderlands, Love. Yeah, it's funny actually, I have this in my room still because I forgot to put it away. You see, if I'm a big Borderlands fan.
Oh, you actually have a fucking chest. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's dope.
Vault Hunter Edition.
That is awesome.
But yeah, I love Borderlands. I really need to finish that and actually get on the DLCs. But Yeah.
Dude,
Big Borderlands.
if you want to play it on PC, let's fucking do it. We'll schedule it because
There's 4 DLCs.
there's 4 DLCs. It's fourth and final. I have not played any of them, mainly because I wanted to play them with people and I didn't have people to play it with, and I was hoping to play it with there were a couple people in my community, but the cross play that they were trying to do never really happened. So I was on PC alone, and it's fun, but I don't know. It's not as fun, but I mean, there's so much humor. There's so much in this game that I think it's so much better to play with friends and have that, and that experience through it all. Even though like I know some of the stuff that happens, but especially with this new one, like I want to play through PC Mine. Warlock's one of the only ones that is still a PC Borderlands player. So
I mean,
I'm
sure,
PC. Yeah, like
I played 2 on PC, so
Yeah, I have it on Xbox. Unfortunately,
I have 2 on Steam, so
yeah,
that's where I would play it.
yeah, no, it's amazing. I cannot wait. So September 10th, playing through Krieg's Mind. Like I said, it reminds me of the pre-sequel where you played through Claptrap's mind. And that's what this DLC reminds me of. And I want to see more about Krieg, because Krieg is like a fan favorite. He's one of those that, in TV shows, when the fans get a hold of somebody that they like and just kind of becomes the thing. Like, he didn't have much in 2. He was just a playable character, a DLC playable character. He had the great intro video about him. But after that, like, obviously you could tell that he had a thing for Maya. And he saves her in his intro video and all that kind of stuff. And he has that internal monologue. And that was kind of the coolest thing about Krieg, is that he was a psycho, a berserker psycho, but he had that internal to external monologue. And that's, I think, what people love. That's what I loved, at least, was that balance. It's like, oh, he said, it's like, hey, tell her that, you want to save her, or tell her to jump out. And he's like, you're going to be my meat puppet. And his internal voice is like, you fucking idiot. Why did you say that? Like, and that's what I think that's like what I loved about him, Yeah, a meat bicycle built for 2. Like,
I just find it weird that we still haven't unless I haven't seen it because they haven't played the DLCs, that they've like introduced Gage back in it and Krieg, with like West Salvador and Axton. We haven't seen them. And I feel like
I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't played the DLCs because I was waiting for review, but I haven't seen anything where Sal was introduced back again at all. Axion, I think, died. Somewhere along the line. I think I could be wrong. Maybe Warlock, if he knows, or somebody else knows. I think I saw somewhere that Axion died. I could be wrong though. I may be making that up. I think, well, maybe I haven't seen anything about him, but I think, like, I haven't seen anything about Sal. I thought I saw somewhere that Axion died somewhere, but like I said, I could be wrong. Like, I haven't played it, but there's the most recent one before this was the most recent one was the Lovecraftian one that had like the tentacle Cthulhu kind of vibe to it and all that. Like, they are really good. And the thing that I love about Borderlands and the whole series is that at the end of the day, I feel like this is a series, this is a game that is based and created by gamers. That's why I love it. Like, the jokes, the humor, the way that they take care of the player base. Like, I feel like this is something that any of us could have created, giving the technical skills. Like, that's why I love this game, because there's so much of that humor that only gamers get, that, really is devoted to us and, our style of life. And I just, Tiny Tina, just the D&D fucking expansion of Tiny Tina in 2 was fucking amazing. Like, I just love how they ingrain so much of geek and nerd culture into it. And it's just like, this is a game that is built by us, for us, and I'm all about it. And I've loved that from day one. All the Easter eggs, all the jokes, all everything. I mean, even you could go straight into, you could load up Borderlands 3 right now, and at the intro area, there's a Fallout reference. You can go there's you walk to the right and there's like a TV that has almost the exact same fucking Fallout Please Stand By screen. It's just a little bit different to not like fuck it up. But it is a Fallout Please Stand By screen for like when the war thing happens. And I'm like,
awesome.
Fucking gamer references. Like that's you know, they ingrain those into the game. And I love that. Like this is probably, you know, like I said, it's not quite Fallout, but it's one of my favorite series of all time. Like Half-Life, Fallout, Borderlands is top 5. I'd have to figure out who exactly is 3, but it's pretty damn close. So, but officially announced September 10th. I think JoJo just said that she's gonna play it with us. So look forward to that, guys.
Oh, won't you be playing Tony
I
Hawk?
just put it in my wish.
Well, I mean, we can play Tony Hawk and Borderlands. All right, like we can play all the above. When does Tony Hawk come out again?
It wasn't on the 9th. Let me just I'm double checking.
It's the first like week of September.
Well, we could have a skater
Like
party
the 4th.
and then
like
go
4th.
play
It
fucking
is.
Borderlands.
Hold on. Tony Hawk fucking comes out on September 4th. I will be out of town. How did I let this happen?
How dare you?
Oh,
I'm
Kingdom.
getting my chest finished on that day.
Giggity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will, in your honor, I will stream it that night for you just to like do some stuff and be like, hey, what do you want me to do? And you know, and then we could have a skate party when you get back. But yeah, excited. I'm super excited. I mean, we knew Krieg was coming. It's nice. I'm kind of glad that I didn't play as much just because of the level cap, the way that it is. Obviously, it just got increased again. So it's nice to get back into it and not have to worry about grinding for so much and then it not mattering. Got it, Alex. I'll do that. I actually was working on like the whole like Ollie's and videos. We talked about that earlier. Anyways, moving on. Other things this week. Actually things coming out, new releases. I have Control up there. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll show the video. Tell Me Why, which was shown during the Xbox game preview thing that they did last month or earlier this month. I don't know, time blends in together because of COVID. So Tell Me Why, that officially is out now. I looked earlier on the Xbox thing. For those of you guys that know, that's the same people that did the Life is Strange. It's pretty much the Life is Strange game. That is out today. As I looked on the Xbox app, it said that I could download it. That was before the web show. So
midday Eastern.
yeah, like I'm not sure. Like it said that it's 27th, but I opened it up earlier. It said that I could download it. So don't quote me on that, guys. Chat.
Yeah, not live until 5 p.m. my time. So
Yeah,
Eastern.
yeah. So that's like so it might have been a pre-install. You know, but it said 27th, so I don't know what time. I did open up the Xbox app, but it is included on Game Pass. That's what I was about to say. That's why we were talking about. That's why I was on the Xbox show. The Tell Me Why, pretty much the Life is Strange style game. I've already talked about it enough. Personally, I don't. Do you guys have any questions, comments about it yourself? I've talked about it before, so
I love like these kind of games. Life is Strange.
Okay.
We've actually been replaying. So I do story games on Mondays for streaming. We've just finished Life is Strange 2 on Monday.
Life is Strange is such an amazing series.
agreed.
I can't wait.
Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've talked about it before, so I don't need to give my own 2 cents. So I just wanted to let you guys talk about it. So yeah, that is out later today. If you have Game Pass Ultimate, load that bad boy up, play it. Other things, of course, coming out today. I will load up the Control DLC because, you know, Life is Strange 3 essentially. That's cool and all, but you know. It's no Control DLC, and your boy is like hardcore, very, very invested in Control because I am an Alan Wake nerd, and it's the same. Like I've talked about it plenty of times.
Alan Wake.
And this is the same universe. They're starting to build it. They're starting to build it into the. It's the same universe. They have confirmed they are building it in, and I think they're supposed to officially build it in.
I want to replay through Alan Wake. It was scary though. I don't like scary games.
But that's the thing, like they're building it into this universe. Like it is in the same universe.
Good, though.
I think this DLC they're supposed to tie it in. That's the rumor. It's out today.
See, I didn't even play Control.
Oh, it's
See,
so
I
fucking good. It's so
I
good.
actually didn't like it.
It's
No, I
so
heard that it was
fucking
really
good.
good.
So no, go on.
One of the best games. Like, oh, I fucking love Control.
I don't know why. I love Alan Wake. I freaking love Quantum Break. I was wanting to love Control. Played it. I just got bored. I want to give it
Control came out at a time where I had like 8 other games I was juggling, or I was like balls deep in like Stardew or something, and I just couldn't be bothered.
Control came out the week before PAX West. To give you if you remember like what was happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I played it through. I left for PAX West, I think, like that Friday or whatever. Or maybe it was the weekend after, but like I think it came out like that Wednesday. I played it Thursday. Like it was my last stream before PAX West.
PAX West is in like September, right?
September of last year.
Yeah, I was preparing to go to TwitchCon last year.
Yeah. Dude,
Which is
Alan Wake, absolutely love. Like, I'm a huge, because I remember because I got slightly inebriated and, or wait, was it PAX West or was it PAX South? No. Wait, no, it was GXC that I talked to Stein about it. Maybe it wasn't.
It came out on the 27th of August. Oh, exactly a year ago today.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's just it. So yeah, it was because I remember that's what it was. No, when I first met Stein, it was that's what it was. When I first met Stein, fun fact about, Kdog. So when I first met Stein, if you guys aren't familiar, former Xbox and Mixer / whatever person, I met him at GXC inadvertently. Like I was just there like on my day off, so I was at GXC, which is kind of like a Destiny Con in Florida. What it used to be, and now it's called like GXC or whatever, but essentially it's like DestinyCon. The main reason I went was Borderlands 3 reveal. It's in like June. It was before Borderlands 3 went out. I went for that. I ended up standing in this random line for this game called Control. Like, and I was like, fuck, I have the afternoon off. I'm going to stand here, whatever. So do that. And then they had like a sign up thing, just to like play different games, or whatever. So they had a sign up thing. It's like, if you're a content creator, like, put in your thing. And Stein was standing there. Didn't know who he was, whatever, like I'm not small at this point. Like I'd already put in for partner once. But like I wasn't huge by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm sitting there, but it's like my day off. So he's like, hey, if you're a content creator, whatever. It's like, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm not in like publisher like talking to people mood. Like this is my one day off this week. Like I'm just here to play fucking video games, bro. Like that's all it was. So I like totally blew him off, and he was there at the control booth for the demo of it. So I put in my information, whatever. I played the demo, absolutely fucking loved it. Like hands down, I was just like blown away this Control demo. And at this point I didn't know who Stein was, because like I was still like I don't know, 4,000 followers or something like that on Mixer. Like not like I said, like I had put in for partner, but I wasn't anywhere. Like I got denied. Like I wasn't big by any means, and I didn't really know him. Didn't really recognize him. He was probably talking to fucking Goth, and I wouldn't fucking know, because he was talking to people. I remember that. Like he was talking to people, and then he like tried to talk to me, but I was like so much in my I'm like, this is my one day off. I'm just here to play fucking video games like mindset. Like I'm just here as a guest, not as a streamer type of thing. So I played it, and it was fucking amazing. And I just remember like just going that. So I met him at West after and all that, and I met him again, and I remember because I was like slightly inebriated, and I just went up to him. I think it was at the partner meetup. I can't remember. And I was like, bro, like, hey, you probably don't remember me because I didn't really talk to you at fucking all, because it was like my one day off, but you were there at the control booth, talking about this game. And I just finished it just before like West, yada, yada, just finished playing it. You don't remember probably talking to me, but oh my God, fucking best game ever. Like, and I sit there and like I inundated him for like 5 minutes with how much I loved the fucking game. And like he had to have been like so fucking awkward because we were just all like sitting around like drinking and hanging out like eating shit, but like I could not stop about how much I loved this fucking game. Like, and I almost like feel bad for him like looking back because like I had already been like drinking that night, but I was just like how much I loved this game, and I had just gotten done playing it right before West and right before I met him, and I saw him and I'm like, I remember like in my mind like he was the association, like he was outside the control booth, like he helped them, like, and he worked with the company. So I was just like, he was the face of Control for me. So I like went and I like stormed him, and I was just like, oh, this game is fucking amazing. And I kept fucking hounding him for like probably like 5 minutes, and then like I awkwardly probably like squealed away or something like that. I don't know. Like that's all I remember from like my longest conversation with Stein. Like, you know. But either way, Control is great. You know, long story very short.
Right.
I'm looking at why I didn't finish it now. Like, I remember giving it the first video that came out. I'm like, I want to love this, not loving it, and then I'm literally looking what came out after it. Literally within like the next 2 weeks, you had like Man of Medan, Spyro Trilogy, Gears 5, Borderlands 3. So much stuff.
It
came
was
out
it was
so much stuff that came out this time last year.
it was I think I beat it in like
I got a copy of it for free actually from Mixer.
Yeah.
Now that I remember, I
Yeah, 'cause you
remember
were-
downloading it on my Xbox. Like I redeemed the code and I was like, cool, I'll play this eventually.
because they
And I
had to have
didn't.
had a partnership, because otherwise Stein, like I feel like Stein was helping push it or something. Like, I don't know, I wasn't partner at that point, but they had to have had something there.
Was it done by Microsoft Studios?
No, it wasn't. They separate studios. Like I think he was working both for, like, he was an interim or something like that between the two studios. Like maybe like a liaison type of thing.
There was a PlayStation partnership anyway, wasn't there? Because the DLC for this came out first on PlayStation or something, if I remember correctly.
Something like
Not
that.
This one, the first one.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, I
don't
think it
know.
was a
I
liaison.
definitely-
I think
like,
between
I need
the
to just
two.
write all this shit down, like games I need to play.
Dude, I will honestly, and I told Charlie this when we were talking about it initially, Alan Wake, because she never played Alan Wake. Like, and Alan Wake is on Game Pass. I
played
will
Alan Wake
replay
in
Alan Wake.
2015. Right when I first started streaming, someone in my chat gifted me Alan Wake on Steam, and I was like, shit.
And it came
like,
out in 2000, I think 10, the first one, 2010 or 2011. Absolutely love it. Still one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
And it's in this universe, you know, it's a different development company, but you know, the same people who made this, same with Quantum Break and all that. I cannot say enough about how much I love this game. And the same thing I said about Alan Wake. Dude, I want that. How do you have that? Give me. I would wear that shit.
Bonus.
I would wear that. I didn't.
Why have I got all this stuff in my room?
I didn't, like, I knew about the
Ryan's
game, and
just
I
looking around trying to find things to piss you off.
Yeah, I know, that's what it is. He's like, oh, Kdog likes fucking Borderlands. Here you go. Here's swag.
Borderlands
You
box.
like
Oh,
Control?
you love Control? Oh, here's a t-shirt.
Here's swag. No, fuck
I
you.
literally took
Yeah,
out the
you
packet. I
can't
thought that was in
beat
it.
me on Fallout though, because you know what? Even though we're not talking about, I got tattoos, I got swag. So fuck you, Ryan. Ain't gonna happen. You won't make me jealous on Fallout. My next tattoo
right.
actually is Half-Life 2, so my top two you won't beat me on. But I absolutely, I cannot say enough about Control, the Alan Wake, the Control game. Like, and I tell people, I'm like, I got more satisfaction. So I beat the first DLC. People were like, was it worth the $30 or whatever, 20? I don't know how much I paid for, whatever it was. Was it worth? Oh, I will go find my fucking Pip-Boy. Don't get me wrong. Was it worth?
Pre-order for it.
Was it worth the money that you spent on it? And I told him, I was like, look, I beat the DLC probably in like 10 hours or so in like one stream. That being said, I got more satisfaction in that 10 hours than playing 30, 40 hours in a lot of other games. Like, I loved every second of it. Like, to me, that $30 or however much that DLC was, $20, whatever it was, I didn't care. I fucking loved every second of it, and that's the difference. It's like it might have been shorter. I might have been able to beat it in one stream because I did know life it a little bit, but to me it was 100% worth it, and I was okay with that, you know. But I absolutely love the game, the series, everything about it. So that is, to me, this is. It's like if Half-Life comes out with something else, you know, the same thing, you know, Fallout. I'm going to play Fallout. You know, it's that same I have that love for it, so other people might not feel the same way. So, but I will be playing this later tonight on stream. So, if you guys want to watch it, because it's out today. I think it's actually out right now, and I'm kind of itching to play it. But you know, it's okay. We're doing a web show. It's fine. But yeah, I don't know. But JoJo,
I might have to pick up when it comes out to this new systems though.
Dude,
I might get it again.
You guys have to play it. It's amazing. JoJo, you said you liked Alan Wake. You have to play this.
I liked Alan Wake. I just didn't finish it because I was terrified.
It's different. Well, that's the thing. It's less horror. It's not as much. But it still has that like horror. It still has a little. It has that psychological piece to it. Like I remember, like Alan Wake was before horror games were what they were. It's not Visage and all that. Like Alan Wake isn't that, but it had that like psychological horror to it. This still has that psychological aspect, but it doesn't really have like the horror aspect.
Alan Wake was very suspenseful. It wasn't like necessarily psychological, although it was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't jump scares. It was more like you were in a place where just shit was flying all around you and you knew it was dangerous, but you had to search the entire place for a tiny key.
Well, like Alan Wake
and,
was,
you know, just like crazy stuff like that.
A horror suspense novel, and that's you were playing through that, and that's how it was written. That's how it was designed, and that's why the second one was chapter 2. Like the whole game was that, and I fucking loved it. I wish it wouldn't have, you know, the company wouldn't have closed down nearly as much, you know, and. But now we have a lot more people and yada yada yada, and you know now we have control. So
yeah,
I still love it. You know, I actually kind of want to go back and replay the originals because I have such fond memories.
I definitely before I play Control, I'm definitely gonna play through Alan Wake.
Yeah. So and I didn't realize
it's like a necessary thing.
Yeah, like there's Easter eggs in the first one that they tie into the same universe, the core game, but now it looks like they are actually tying in really. In lore that they exist in the same universe. So
What do you think the AWE stands for zone? Like Alan Wake enters?
I don't know. Like yeah, it's like like I don't know. Maybe it might stand for something. I don't know. The first one was what was the other DLC? The other DLC didn't stand for anything. Control DLC. The other one was Foundation. Yeah, so that was just where you were. Though. And that could be a very.
I was thinking that when I saw the little thing.
Yeah,
AWE, like that's
and it's all capitalized. That it has to stand for something because Foundation isn't. So I didn't even notice that. That's all you guys. Because the first DLC is the Foundation, not capitalized, not anything like that. But this one is AWE.
I'm totally updating my Xbox right now so I can look and see and make sure I have Control.
Yeah,
I know they gave me a code, and I'm pretty sure it was for Control. They gave me a lot of fucking codes, but I'm pretty sure I got one for Control last year.
Well, and then maybe it'll transfer over and you can play it on PC because it has like.
Yeah, true. Maybe.
I mean, it has. Nice thing about PC is that it has like the ray tracing and other things.
The Windows 10 store, right?
Yeah, no, that's how I play it though. It's like with the Xbox app. But it is one of the few games in this era that really utilizes like ray tracing and things like that.
Ooh.
I have to turn. Yeah, I have to turn mine down to like medium because otherwise, like my frames drop hardcore. Mine when I last played it, I had like medium ray tracing and I was getting about 100 frames, like with my setup. Like it's very graphic intensive. Like I could see Control being like this day and age, like Crisis. Like it is like if you want to turn it up to ultra, like you're dogging your PC. And like you guys know I don't have a half-ass PC, but if I turn like ray tracing and everything on, like I'm getting like 60 frames. And
I usually play Minecraft with ray tracing.
Yeah, like this. Like I turned it on. Like I have my ray tracing, I think, on like medium when I last played it. And
I wish more games would get on that pony already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they seem to be moving that direction because that's what the new consoles are like. We can do ray tracing now.
Yeah,
so.
but now
they're ray tracing.
2080 for 2 years.
Yeah,
the new came out. Now I'm gonna need a new fucking 2080 or a new RTX card to play actual RTX games when they fucking come out.
Yeah, I was saying their ray tracing and shit like that is like our PC ray tracing on like very low, realistically. Like it's not the same. You know, us playing ray tracing on high is leagues above any ray tracing that the consoles are going to get. Either way, Control DLC said that. Also, this week, 28th. So Friday. Wasteland 3, another game that I'm super excited for because I'm an old school Fallout fan. If you guys aren't familiar with, yes, Fallout. Old school turn-based game, free with Game Pass. Wasteland 3 does come out on Friday. I will also be playing that one as well. I'm super looking forward to it because I've played Wasteland. Yeah. And Madden 21 also is debuting Friday. Yeah. I like how both of you guys just coughed there, like, because none of us really care about Madden. But, you know...
I'm actually sick.
I'm sorry, I'm from the UK.
I don't have the article for that.
Oh, well, I was just, like, I think I mentioned, like, I didn't put up, like, or I just, like, what was... I think I had, like... I didn't post an article for Wasteland or, I just post, like, what else was coming out. You know, Wasteland and Madden. That's what's coming out this week on Friday. So, Madden, for all you people out there that buy Maddens every year, it's coming out Friday. I don't know what has changed. It's Madden. It's yeah. I'm excited for Wasteland. I will be playing that. That's included on the Game Pass. I'm a huge Wasteland fan because it's old school Fallout. It has co-op. I really need to find somebody to play that with. It has even like offline co-op where if you're playing and the other person isn't there, you could play as their character and keep it going. And then when they load back in, they can like keep playing, or like you play as their character or vice versa. It's kind of cool. Anyways, that's what's coming out this week. Last but not least, we talked about it earlier. We're getting back. Here, we'll just let Ryan take the show right now because the last topic of the night, Fall Guys. Officially, a couple things before he takes over, though. We talked about it a little bit here and there, but if you guys have not seen, big announcement tomorrow, 27, 2 p.m. Eastern. So whatever time that converts to for Ryan and everybody else out there. Big announcement, and it's the trailer and everything for Season 2 of Fall Guys. I guess they're in Season 1 now. I don't pay that much attention. But the Season 2...
Everybody's got fucking seasons
Yeah,
nowadays.
exactly. Season 2 release trailer and all that. Not that it's launching, but Season 2 trailer and everything for Fall Guys is coming out and teased tomorrow, 2 p.m. I need to put that link actually in the Discord there for you guys. But it's on the same thing. Jeff Keighley, his whole... Summer Game Fest, kind of all that kind of thing. So that will be debuted tomorrow at 2 p.m. As of today, officially it was announced earlier Wednesday, it was announced that Fall Guys is the most downloaded PS4 game of all time. The most downloaded PS Plus game of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time. Most
even more than Rocket League.
Even more than Rocket League. They won't
I don't
reveal.
know why I didn't think Rocket League would be second. I don't know.
Well, I see this. I always bring that one up simply because I remember when Rocket League launched, it was like this whole big deal back because it was like a PlayStation
Rocket
only
League
thing.
kind of went viral when it launched.
And so like, I always see this is the new Rocket League, and it has potential.
And what's really funny is it has a Rocket League mini game in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the soccer games, and it's two of them actually. It has like one kind of like pure soccer game, and then it has one that's like team ish a little bit.
Have you got the Steam numbers as well that they released today?
No, I didn't see that. Because
7 million copies on Steam.
Okay, yeah. So so the Steam numbers, are there. They won't release though. PlayStation won't release how many copies were downloaded on PlayStation Plus because they're afraid like it will like affect their competitors.
They're fucking lying. You know how Sony is.
Well, that's also like they're like it could
irrelevant.
It could affect their competitors. And to me, like, all I see of that is them saying, like, yeah, it's the most downloaded PlayStation Plus game of all time, but that's like, oh, yeah, 100 people downloaded it, and that's because nobody else downloads PS Plus games. Like that. That's how it translates to me. Yeah, like exactly. Like where is our saying it's the most downloaded PS Plus game of all time? Like what does it have to go against? And I think that's why they're not releasing the numbers. Like they're not saying, oh, 7 million people downloaded it. No, they're saying, oh, it's the most downloaded game. Okay.
Yeah,
so
well, you know
it
it's
got
nowhere near 7 million.
Yeah, so it's got
the
5,000
average Call of Duty
downloads.
sells 8 to 9 million copies per console per season. So you know it's nowhere near anything like that.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So I just thought that was funny, but it is something something unique to the game. Of course, still not on Xbox. As far as I know, I don't.
Won't be.
Yeah.
PlayStation bought a 1-year exclusivity contract with Fall Guys.
Okay.
So it won't be on Xbox for 1 year.
Yeah. Which, whatever. I don't care because I don't play it. But
they have to do that shit to stay relevant.
Yeah. And I get it.
They
and
just
that's
stick it to Microsoft any way they can. It's fine.
Yep. Yeah, that's Sony. Like that's Sony, and we talked about that last web show. There are certain things that in this day and age, like Sony is still clinging to the way of doing gaming business of the past almost, and how relative that's going to be moving forward. Because especially in the crossplay era, the cloud play era, will that be viable? Like, and I don't have any hate for Sony at all. I'm not a Microsoft fanboy, but I'm worried that Sony is going to be left in the dust if they don't transform and move past this whole, hey, we're going to buy exclusivity rights for a year and things like that.
When Spider-Man is what I need to say as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good example. Is like they have the download for the Avengers thing. They have Spider-Man on that even. I don't know if that's exactly what we're talking about, but that reminded me of that. Like, they have Spider-Man as a DLC kind of character that's only available on PlayStation, which a lot of people are up in arms for, because that creates a whole character that is exclusive to a certain platform that has certain abilities and all that supersede, and it makes it almost a pay-to-win type of thing if you're in an online scape. That you can't get on other platforms, and it's going to I get the old school mindset of, okay, you buy on Xbox, you get this character in Soul Calibur. You buy on PC or PlayStation, you get this character, Yoda versus Darth Vader, whatever. But you didn't have the crossplay aspect. Yeah, and you didn't have the crossplay aspect and all that back then years ago. Modern day
matters much.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Modern day,
we also pay like 200% more for games than we did back then. We pay $60 for every fucking game that comes out. I want all the pieces that were made for this game. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I think they're clinging to old business models, and I said this before. And I'm not sure if Sony doesn't adapt. Like, they're trying to a little bit with the, Horizon Zero Dawn and all that coming over. But if it doesn't, Sony as a company doesn't adapt to the modern way of doing things and just playing nice with people, will it last?
I don't know. Sony announced like 7 or 8 years ago that they were on the verge of bankruptcy because of the PS3s, that they made them too strong and that they weren't selling. Like,
because they lost that era, like hardcore. 360 beat them hardcore.
360s beat the shit out of PS3s, but it was the opposite when it came to the PS4s versus the Xbox Ones. PS4s were way better.
Way better.
So I don't feel like they were struggling as much, but they still haven't changed their business model.
Their business model is still the same. Yeah, and it doesn't work. And I think that's the thing. Like, they bought this for Fall Guys and all that, and Fall Guys is just a recent example, but like you said, like Rocket League, they did the same thing, and that's years ago. Like, and I get them buying exclusivity in some way, shape, or form, but like a smaller developers like getting big, like that might be okay, but you look at Avengers with exclusivity for like DLC and playable characters, you're gonna have a pushback. You have already seen a pushback from player base, and like, I just...
what's really funny? Think about it as if you don't own a PC and you don't own a PS4, but you really want to play Rocket League, right? All you own is an Xbox. are you going to put $400 into a PC or $400 into a PS4? Nobody's going to pick the PS4. Everyone's going to go for the PC. It's slightly more expensive, but it pays off in the long run. So I just feel like by them buying all these exclusivity contracts with these games, they're not gaining anything from it except hatred towards their system.
And that's the thing. Like in this, like it used to be, in my opinion, that the exclusivity, because we had different releases. We had, you buy from Best Buy, you get this. You buy on Xbox, you buy from, like, that was definitely the model as recent as probably 5 years ago.
Yeah,
but the
go to
model
and buy a Happy Meal and you get a cool Disney cup.
But
like
the model has changed
right
now, and I don't think Sony has updated. I agree in that regard. Like I
feel like they don't understand that they should be threatened.
Yeah, and
I've seen a lot of the stuff coming out about the PS5 stuff, and people were like really believing that the PS5 was going to be way stronger than the Xbox One X or Series X, whatever the fuck
whatever, X2379, whatever it's called. Yeah,
the next Xbox. And it was going to be stronger, but then lately we've seen a lot of news articles coming up about how Sony is admitting that they're having power issues with the PS5, that they're and I'm
because they did try it, and I said this when they fucking retracted their documents and everything, because once they found out,
dancing around the topic that their PlayStation 5s are failing right before launch.
Exactly, and that's what I said, because that it wasn't COVID that fucked up their production and everything else. It was, they decided, they had a model in mind, and we talked about this back in April. They had a model in mind. They saw what Xbox's was, and they went, fuck, we can't compete in this new generation, and they changed their model. And now, so they made a couple changes. They had to do it to make it compete in the next era, but they only changed the couple things to meet their price range. But now, like you said, so power doesn't work, so this and that. So okay, you can upgrade.
The little hybrid heat sinks they were using are literally melting.
Exactly. So you have, so you're upgrading your, that's like me taking a 400 watt PC that works okay, for I built $1,000 PC with 400, 500 watts. Just a simple graphics card, whatever. I realized JoJo has a solid PC, and I'm about to play her, and I need to be better than her. And I'm like, fuck, all right, so I have $500 of leeway. All right, I'll upgrade my CPU and my graphics card. And that's it. That shit doesn't work. It doesn't. You have to redesign like everything. You have to redesign
At that point, you'd be
the
better off
fucking
getting new RAM.
The fucking motherboard, the fucking the power supply, the graphics card. Like you can't just accept that the graphics card is going to make that difference and all that because of things like the heat and all that. If they were expecting, especially with the way that consoles are. And I'm just talking about PCs, and you have a little bit more like heat allowance. Consoles, it's so much more ingrained, the heat dissipation of that. And so this is thermodynamics, which I took half a course in because I dropped it back in my engineering days, but because college. And so, but you have to think, like, in that smaller sense, you have these consoles that now were geared for this temperature, that now for the same price point, or maybe $100 more, they're adding this exponential increase in temperature with no dissipation in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it was something to do with the liquid cooling, that they switched to a different type of liquid cooling or something, and it failed catastrophically. They had to redesign the entire cooling system in the PS5,
which they can't
literally
do
this month.
And they cannot do that in less than 6 months. I'm sorry. They are trying to scramble, and I've said this for a while. They are trying to scramble to catch up once they realize.
It's supposed to come out in
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, they're gonna have another Red Ring of Death issue. Like
The PlayStation is gonna be like, they're gonna have the Red Ring of Death.
Red Ring of Death. Oh, I just got chills down my spine.
They are gonna have that issue this generation, because there's no way around it.
So terrible.
They are scrambling. They are scrambling to make their hardware work and compete in this next generation. That's how I see it.
I think that if they really wanted to compete that they should have shown up to the last 2 years of PAXs and E3 because they fucking didn't.
Yeah, no, they
Where
didn't
the
care.
fuck were they?
They didn't
had
care.
nothing new besides the Death Stranding demo. They had nothing new to
They didn't have to show up. They were already winning. Is probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they were like, oh well, we're in charge of this generation. Like, who the fuck cares?
I'm not like an Xbox fangirl or anything. Like I own all the fucking systems. I actually have 2 PlayStations right here. I have a PlayStation 2 and a 4 right here next to me. I don't really understand. They don't understand the level of competition. They think they're way out ahead because of the PS4 success. And they're like, it's whatever. We'll just bite the bullet. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that they are a little, they're on a high horse a little bit, and they got a little bit kicked in the mouth when Xbox said that their specs were what they were, and they're scrambling to keep up right now and just trying to make something passable. Because even we saw the press releases, like their peripherals, like were okay, cool. Like, here's your new controller, like whatever.
I hope people will see the power, but the thing that I think the PS5 has in its corner, I mean, aside from the fact that Sony, it's like you look at everywhere in the world. I'm pretty sure it's like only the States and maybe depending on the 360 PS3 era at least, is States and the UK are like the only places that outsell Xbox to PlayStation, and obviously the PS4 way outsold the thingy. I just hope that the power that people will see finally kind of, people are becoming more savvy with their tech, and so I hope the fact that they see this is gonna be more powerful, but the likelihood is it's gonna be more expensive. The new Xbox is gonna be more expensive than the PS5, but it's probably gonna be way stronger as well. Like invest slightly more and get the more like powerful console. You know what I mean? I think like even just taking out whatever brand's better. Go with for more bang for your buck, you know?
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess. I look forward to what happens.
Yeah, I'm not against Sony at all. This is just how I am perceiving it as a knowledgeable
I have
consumer.
given Sony so much money this year, it's not even funny.
Yeah, like
I'm looking at a camera that was $1,000 and I have
exactly. That's
sitting
like
over there. And then I have
know.
2 fucking PlayStation. I actually have 3, but I don't count the third one because it's a PS1 emulator that just looks like a little baby PS1.
Oh, one of the mini things.
Yeah, it's cute. I'll pull it out and show you. Look how cute it is.
Aww, so adorable.
It's adorable, right? I love it, but I've never actually played it because it doesn't have any games preloaded on it that I actually would enjoy. So I want to like crack it and put new stuff on it.
Makes sense.
Was like $20 at Walmart. Like it's nice just to have on a shelf,
Dude,
even though it does actually play games.
Hack that and fucking put Legends of Dragoon on that shit. And I will hang out with you. Go play Legends of Dragoon. I will hang out with you all stream because that is something I need a fucking remaster for. If anybody in chat appreciates Legends of Dragoon, cheers. Because that shit was the best
fucking... It doesn't actually open, but all the buttons
10 times
click.
better than Final
they
Fantasy.
do something. It's so cute. It has a straight HDMI port on the back. Like, that's so crazy. It's a PS1.
Yeah. No, I agree with what like you guys like Lefty and all that is saying in chat, like, and that's a lot of it. And I've been saying it for a while. Like, I think they're scrambling. Like I said, I've read the articles. Like I always like paraphrase a lot of this stuff. I just my personal opinion, just like a lot of 90% of news articles are, and that's the joy of having this show is that I get to express my personal opinion. Is that they're scrambling. Like I think that and I still don't, even with their scrambling, I don't know that they realize the situation that they are in. I think that we'll see over the next year where Sony really stands. I don't think that they know how, I don't want to say far behind, but their mindset is not current. So we'll see how that plays out. Hi, Nick.
He is showing me, this was in my drawer. This was the controller that came with my little PS1
That's the reason right there I did not buy it, because there are no analog sticks.
Yeah.
No,
I remember when the analog stick
USB.
first came
It's
out.
USB.
I remember being so excited. There was a game. There was like, it was a monkey ape hunting
Ape
game.
Escape.
Ape Escape.
I
Yes,
was
and
literally
it
about to bring
came
this
out
up.
with the analog
Ape
controller.
Escape. Yeah.
I remember playing that. I got it for like my birthday, for Christmas. I don't know, whatever the fuck I got it for. I remember playing that with that analog controller.
I had it on a demo disc, and it was the very first game. I was like, "How do I'm like trying to move with the D-pad. I'm like, why can't I move? Wait, what's this? I was moving on the sticks.
This is so confused. That was like the first game to do it. I was so confused.
One, though, like back in the day, like I played a lot of Tomb Raider. You didn't use the sticks to play Tomb Raider.
There weren't them. Yeah, they didn't exist. Yeah, it was, so like when Ape Escape came out, I remember like playing it, and I was like, because you use the left analog stick to move and the right analog stick to swing your neck, and it was just like the most mind-boggling thing, and I loved it. I was just like, oh my god, this is the future of like gaming. Like I remember, I have a fond memory of like that first iteration of analog sticks. And I remember my dad going, what the fuck are you playing? Like, I bought this for you, but what the fuck is it there? And I'm like, I'm catching monkeys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is the game. And I don't even remember what the game was about. I just remember I had to catch
them.
monkeys for some reason. I don't remember at all anything besides that. I used the right
music. Yeah, the lightsaber.
Yeah, the right analog stick swung your net in a certain direction, and that's all I remember. But yeah, it's either way. Sony, hopefully, we'll see if it catches up. Fall Guys, going back on it. We got off topic because we were talking about Sony itself, but
way off topic.
Release Season 2 tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. Convert that to your heart's content. Besides, I mean, there's been a lot of news about Fall Guys. I don't know exactly what specifically to talk about. Mr. Fall Guys, like what can you tell us? Like what has changed? What are you looking forward to on this game that is the hot topic right now?
I'm just looking forward to seeing kind of where they take it. Like they already had plans in place, and with everyone being like, we want this in the game, and we want this in the game, and like they might start to take stuff on board. You know what I mean? Like I've looked at stuff with articles like with Slime Climb, for example, it was gonna be a completely different game at one point called like Volcano, and it was like meant to turn you to climb as the lava's going up, and it, like you have to like jump, and like this, the fact that they could add that as a different level, and like there are things that people are coming up with like final games where you kind of wrestle on like a slime platform, and it just sounds cool. Like these ideas that people are coming up with themselves, and like. Also, the way they've talked about it is that they will add new games over time, but they will also update old games so that one day you could go on and say, they always refer back to Slime Climb because I think that's the one that everyone always struggles on. They say, we want to make it so that, like, say in a month's time, the game levels evolve enough that players who play it like every day, like I might do at the moment, will come back onto the next day and it's like, oh, this is different, and everyone kind of has to learn again, you know what I mean? And like,
yeah, they
want to
have
keep
to
it
do
fresh.
that. Yeah, they have to do that to keep it fresh, or it's just gonna be like the best players are always gonna be the best players.
And they might be running into that issue sooner rather than later because of the popularity that they're coming into. You know, you have people like Ryan who, I don't think so either. But you have people like Ryan who are playing this every day, who have 150 wins, who plus, and
they enjoy
it. But like you know the thing. I'm not saying that you're getting bored with it, but I'm saying that they're, you have that type of people who are playing it every day, so they might be looking for something new here and there. And I will agree. I think Slime Climb is the best mode that they have, because I think that they need to make more maps like that, because that is more representative of you. Yeah, exactly. It's more skill, less random luck bullshit.
Right. There's a lot of random games on that game that I just feel are stupid.
Yeah, it's like let me play Slime Climb. Let me be
because they're too easy.
Let me be good.
Yeah,
let me be good.
The matching one is stupid. Most of the time I play that level, nobody falls off because it's not hard to remember where a fucking fruit is on a board of like 9
where
squares.
Everyone else is. They're saying that's something and like 10 people.
Which is always funny though to watch when you fuck somebody up and like everybody's on the other side and you run to a square that isn't it, and then you jump onto the square that is last minute. I've seen a couple videos of that. I so am doing that next time I play because I'm gonna psych
Just
everybody
running to
out.
the wrong square on
Oh yeah, just
purpose.
run to the wrong
I've
square,
done
like,
it a few
and then
times.
everybody fucking comes there, and then you jump off at the last second, and everybody fucking falls. I've seen a couple videos of it. It's great. I want to do it.
Sounds hilarious.
But yeah, majority of the time, everybody just, yeah, games like that, just like everybody
like,
gets
there's
through.
some like final levels that I think need to be like modified, like levels like Fall Mountain. There should never be more than 5 players on Fall Mountain, or it's unfair because each row when you start is 5 players. If anybody starts in the second row, anyone in front of you has a perfect run, you'll never get past them. You won't. So I just feel like everyone
I think they
should
should
be on
make
the
that
same row.
longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
That's the thing.
longer,
Like maybe
yeah.
like do it like add more alleys or something like that if there
Yeah,
are more
it's just
people in that
dumb.
final level. Yeah. So and I think I'm hoping that for the game, like I said, it's not necessarily for me. I personally think it's a fad game, and I could 110% be wrong, and I'm okay with that. I have been wrong before. It doesn't happen often, but every once in a while. But
It's a strange one to me though, just because to me personally, this is a game which I've actually been excited for from day one. It was announced-
I
it was
remember you
announced at
saying that. I
E3 last
remember
year.
that you have like been looking forward to this for a while, and then you
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, "Oh, this blew up randomly. I've been playing this for however long."
I actually went and looked because I wanted to see if I was like, when was the first time I talked about this on Twitter? The first time I ever talked about it on Twitter was like April 13th. But because it's one of these games where it's like it was the same with Cuphead. When Cuphead was first announced, like back in 2013, I'm just like, it was like
Cuphead.
5 seconds in a trailer. I'm like, what's that game? Because I'm like a huge animation nerd, and this is the same thing. I saw it on like a highlight reel for PlayStation games. I was like, what is this? Because we have a show here called Takeshi's Castle. I think in the States you have something called MXC, which is like the same thing. And I loved that show when I was a kid. I'm like, this looks exactly like that, and I
MXC.
need that.
This is MXC with jelly beans, like same thing. Yeah.
Jelly beans that
It's
are
the
6
same,
feet
yeah.
tall.
It's Takeshi's Castle here, but I'm
Oh,
like, this is this game, and I need to play it. And then I was so happy to see so many people getting into it around the beta, and like even now, and like so many people talking about it. I'm like, yes, this is the game that, and I knew it was gonna be special, but I didn't necessarily think that many people were gonna play it. So I was telling everyone always about it. I was like, hey, you're gonna go get Fall Guys when it comes out, and then just took off. I'm like, yes. But yeah, I see it. I see it like honestly, like so even someone who loves it. By the end of this month or by the end of September, unless they do something about it,
Yeah,
it's definitely gonna start taking a dive.
It's almost. I feel like almost their popularity might bite them. That's kind of what I like. What I'm saying about that, like it is a fad thing.
We've
But
seen that happen so much in gaming.
yeah,
though.
exactly. Like if they don't, and I don't know that they're big enough and strong enough of a company. I personally don't know if they are big enough to make the changes and make new content enough to fulfill the viewer base and the gamer base that they have right now, because they got big so fast. I don't know
I'm
that.
already bored. I've only played it like maybe a dozen times, just with my friends, like here and there, and I'm just like, I can't get a win because people are assholes, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's like
I want like private lobbies. I want them so bad.
Like they need to make the changes sooner. Yeah. But that's
because like for me, I see it going forward as a game right now. Like you said, like we've been saying, nothing's really come out, and so it's like once everything starts coming out in September, I see this becoming like a literally like they're doing it with the Twitch rivals. This will become my Guys Friday. This is what I play like every Friday. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna play it every day like I am right now, because like for example, Avengers comes out next week. I'm gonna start going hard on that, and then like Destiny stuff will start coming out, and Crash 4 comes out, and all these new games are gonna start coming out. It's like, well, I'm gonna get busy again, so.
Yeah. If they don't come out with this content sooner rather than later, though, it's going to fall off. And that's that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why I say it's like a fad almost. And that's every game. I will say that. But
well, I mean,
since it is,
I feel like it's another Animal Crossing. Like,
yeah,
it might have taken so well because we're all just
exactly
like, hibernating in our houses
because there's nothing else out right now,
and it's cute and it's fun and it's rage-inducing and it's all the things you need. It's wholesome, right? And so
but we don't. There's nothing else coming out like right now that you know.
What else? We have nothing else to cling on to. Just like in March, there was not shit else to cling on to but Animal Crossing.
But Animal Crossing, yep.
And the world was like Animal Crossing.
I you know exactly. If this comes out in November, the same month as Cyberpunk. This doesn't.
No, it would not have done anything.
I would still play it because I love these kind of games.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, you'll still have those people.
I party games like this, but
it doesn't.
Wouldn't have had
It doesn't give Tim the Tatman his highest viewer count ever. It doesn't give Dr. Disrespect the highest viewer count. Like, it doesn't give the momentum that it has right now. And that's why I think this is a Midas touch situation in that
Right time, right place.
they are right time, right place. And I'm worried that if they don't, like they have potential. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It might just not be for me. And
sure
I
they're
will play it
working
with
on it.
friends.
You know.
They for better or for worse, I know they are. Like, I know they're not just not working on it. Like, but
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, because it sold so well, they have all that money to do whatever they want.
They have to do it
so
sooner rather than later,
they
though.
gotta
Like,
be speedy about it, but
they have
also
to.
don't do it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. They have to do it quick. For better or for worse, they have to do it quick, because otherwise, everybody's gonna get bored really quick, and then they're gonna get blacklisted. Like, they're gonna, and that's just the way gaming is right now. Like, I hate to say it, but realistically, how much content does that game have off the bat? Not much. So, ideally, they had more content planned. Maybe they weren't expecting to get this big, but they got to get some ideas out there sooner rather than later, because the Ryans out there that have 150 wins, like, eventually, even they're going to get bored. You know, and I guarantee you the people with 5 wins are already getting bored. So they need to get sooner rather than later. And I hope they do. I really do. Like, even like me as somebody who it's not for me, but I really hope they do. But that's how I see it, is that they need to do it sooner rather than later if they are going to succeed as a game. I don't think that they expected to get this big. I think that this was a fluke. I didn't see any paid ads, so like the difference is, like, you see like Hyperscape and things like that on Twitch and all that with paid ads and paid streamers and this and that. I don't remember seeing any of that for Fall Guys.
No, I don't think they paid anybody to play it. I think they just got it was the right amount of fun for the right people, I think.
And I think that's
the
what
right people tried it, and just it is really fun. Like, so
which was great. But I can't see this company expecting this blow up. The way I look at it from the outside, I just don't see them expecting this amount of blow up. Like, and don't get me wrong, they have a great social media scene. I've been 100% impressed with that. I follow them. I'm sure Ryan does as well. They joke about the yellow team. Like, they are a great, the social media manager is great. Like, their team, all that. I would be very surprised if they expected this much of a blow up.
Oh, there's no way.
They didn't.
They had to take their servers all the way down.
Yeah.
The launch week, and they were like, "We'll put them back up on Saturday." And that's because they had to fix them. But at least they did the right thing and took them down.
And I will always respect that from a developer. Like, it's like, hey, something fucked up. We're taking them down. We're gonna fix it. We'll put it back up. Yeah. And that is honestly the sign of maybe a smaller developer, because they are forthright with, hey, this is what's going on. They're transparent, etc. So I really hope they do well. I really do. Even if it's not my game, I really hope they do well. They definitely need to. I think for them to do well, I think they need to bring the content out sooner rather than later, because otherwise it's going to fall off, because we're not going to be in this lull of lack of games come October, November, because guess what? Once Cyberpunk comes out, I'm not playing anything fucking else. There is nothing else on my fucking...
I'll probably bounce back and forth between Cyberpunk and Tony Hawk, because I'm not letting Tony Hawk go.
I mean, like, I'll play Tony Hawk until Cyberpunk comes out, and that's it. Like, and I will... And then once I maybe get done with Cyberpunk, one playthrough, I'll play Tony Hawk. But there is nothing else I'm playing. Cyberpunk release to whatever... You're going to have to pay me to play another game.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to make my dick huge.
Oh, mine's going to be this big, and I'm still going to romance every fucking person in that goddamn game like a fucking champ. Big bet. But just
I think on on the topic of actually what we see tomorrow from Fall Guys, though, I honestly don't know because they're like season 2, but season 2 doesn't actually start for like 40 days.
That's
like,
like season 2, like
game,
is
like
it for a
40 days to
while?
go.
So, like, do we like season 2? Do we see just new skins in that, or do we see 100% new levels, new game? You know, and I'm excited to watch it also.
I think I honestly believe this from like you say because of the size of the game. I think maybe we see within the next few weeks maybe one new game, and then for season 2 maybe they launch with obviously like new skins. They might launch like 2 new like stages and then revamps of a bunch of the old ones is what I think we're probably gonna see personally. But I mean I don't know for sure, but I would be fine with that, I guess. But like again, like you said, I don't necessarily say it as a fad game for me, but it's something that I won't constantly be playing going forward soon. But I already knew that was always going to be the case anyway. But it's a game I'm going to come back to like at least once a week, play with my friends, have fun. Hopefully we get the private lobby soon, and then we can start having competitions between people. Because I know I've seen a bunch of people, at least when it first came out, like get a bunch of old mixed partners back together for a 60-person.
That's one of the things. Like I think if they were smart, I know it would take a lot, but they're obviously making money. Let's be honest, like they are probably way above what they expected.
Would take as much as they think it would take to just
give the private lobbies.
You know what would be really cool if they did it like Jackbox games, where you open up a lobby and it gives you a little code.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah,
type in the code.
And that's like, and you could keep the same thing where you don't have names and all that right now, which I would love to actually have names. Don't get me wrong, but that's how they could like balance it out.
But it's just as easy to find somebody's number.
Yeah.
As it is their name. And also in the little screen where it shows who's being eliminated and all the jelly beans fall or whatever, your number is always visible there. You can't turn it off. So using the numbers instead of the names is pointless.
Yeah. No,
that's not the reason they turned it off was because the names were getting hacked, and so people put in like racist
people were putting in like racist names and stuff. But I mean, like that kind of stuff exists in every PC game.
Yeah. Yeah,
there was there was a size hacks and color hacks, so like you literally couldn't see the end screen sometimes because I had one where it was like there was like an F, and it was green, it took up the whole screen. So,
they just need to fix the whatever
exactly
allowing people to hack.
They just have to fix that. But no, I agree. I think the most that I'm looking forward to, if they do this right, I think what they need to introduce is custom lobbies for this season 2 tomorrow. I think that
and a whole round of new levels. That would be dope.
Even if they don't do new levels like really tomorrow, they just say, hey, look,
I mean, custom lobbies alone
custom lobbies,
huge,
exactly. Like, and then like they tease like a little bit of something, you know.
Content though.
Yeah, hey, we're working on just go show a little bit of snippets. You know, even if they're not sure what it is, but man, if they could give custom lobbies some type of even like, hey, we're working on this for season 2, even if they don't say, even if they work it out so that way it's not, you know, hey, this is coming September 19th or whatever date, even if they phrase it as this is coming season 2, if they say, hey, custom lobbies are coming, I think that would make a huge difference for the game. Like I think that would make
because people like me would actually open it up. Like I would do like Fridays.
I would do that with community
110%.
Yeah, this is 110% a community game that I would play. You know, at least weekly. Just hey, whoever wins tonight, free sub or free giveaway, whatever. Like whatever. Just that kind of thing. It would make it so much, and. Like, forget marbles on stream. Like this would pass that so much more.
It would. I love marbles on stream and it's fun to watch, but at the same time, it's just like watching water boil. You can't control your marble at all. You're just hoping that it goes the right way. So, I mean, at least this.
And then you could get pissed, be like, God damn it, JoJo, you grabbed me right there at the end. I should have won. Fucking bullshit. Right. Like, and it would give like vestment. Like, and I think that's
fun.
I think that's. I agree. I think that's where they need to head to stay relevant.
Yeah,
so.
I think tomorrow we probably won't even see that much either.
I don't think so either, but I hope. I hope.
We got a bunch of stuff coming tomorrow. I'm super excited for tomorrow for Gamescom to see all the new stuff.
Yeah.
Destiny new stuff. Ratchet and Clank's getting shown again.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff. That's honestly the thing. I might revamp this web show to like on Thursdays because everything in the gaming industry seems to be happening on Thursdays now. It fucking
Tuesdays
changed.
Or Thursdays.
Tuesdays,
Those are usually the update days.
Yeah, so I did it on Wednesdays this show because I used to have a job that I worked on Fridays, so I didn't want to be hungover going into Fridays. But being that I don't fucking work anymore, it doesn't really make a goddamn difference. So that might be changing like after this rendition. But I have people scheduled through till October, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, Thursdays everything fucking happens, and I'd love to talk about all that kind of shit. But anyways, closing remarks about Fall Guys. Anything? Yes, no, baby.
I love it.
Yes, we know you love it.
I mean,
come on, we know.
Fun. I wish I enjoyed it more, but again, like I said, I just don't. It's kind of like a Tim the Tatman thing. Like I don't have a win yet, and I get so fucking frustrated because I'll get to like the last level and I'll be on like the top of the hexagon, and then like some shit will happen and I'll be like eliminated. I get second place more than I get eliminated. I feel like it's right there. Just the tip. I just can't do it.
You just gotta get that. You just gotta get that Ryan.
And
like
I've
just
only played the game like a dozen times.
Just hang out with Ryan for a
even...
while because he knows all the tricks. Obviously.
Yeah.
Mr.
I was gonna make a tips and tricks video, but then I went around to making one, and I was like, there's already like 20 videos of that, or probably way more. I'm just gonna leave it.
It doesn't do it. Like I would still watch that, dude. Like make your own. Like I will help you edit it. Like I have YouTube videos. Yes, there's 100 videos probably about how to do the audio, like I just did. But I still made my own because it works for your community and everything else. Just make it. I'll help you out. I got you. No, make it. There is no we'll see. Make that shit. You're over 150 wins. You deserve to make that shit. You deserve it. Make that video. Just record some of your gameplay and you're good to go. Either way.
Yeah, I'm about to get the wins.
Yeah, exactly. Like you got plenty of wins. You're worth it. Chat. Besides JoJo posting random nonsense and the Q&A, which was great by the way. I didn't see anything else in the Q&A tonight. Of course, if you guys want to see any of the articles that we talked about, any of the longer ones that we didn't 100% go over, the links are there in chat. Other than that, speak now or forever hold your peace, chat-wise.
You never answered my question.
Did you see the Fortnite thing I posted, by the way?
$6.99 on OnlyFans. Oh, wait, what? Fortnite
they just
thing.
Revealed the Fortnite 4 trailer.
In our chat.
And it looked,
right above,
I might need to go on
right
Fortnite.
above my Borderlands link.
Oh, hold on, wait.
Fortnite. New Fortnite.
I might need to go on it.
Ward save reality starts out lower ledge, right, Fortnite, if I take Galactus, save all our okay, so new.
Yeah, they just
It's all Marvel.
All right, hold on. Fortnite goodness just released at 2:06 a.m. for me, so while we were doing the web show. All right, let's watch this.
Yeah.
Where's my audio? Let's start over. There we go. Has the Avengers music. Pew 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 pew.
I'm so happy there's Wolverine.
Wow.
Like, really, what the fuck are you gonna do against fucking Iron Man with a goddamn scar? Like, come on. Like, what the fuck are you guys gonna do against them? The weakest Thor I've ever seen.
Right?
This completely makes sense now, though. Why? I was wondering, they announced a while ago that there's like a Joker skin coming to the Fortnite, but they're like, the bundle comes out in November. Now it totally makes sense because like, well, we have to release it after Season 4 finishes. Can't have that with Marvel.
Interesting.
I mean, if I played Fortnite, that'd be really exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I might need to jump in on it. I love Marvel stuff.
You know, that might
I'm
also.
a big Marvel fangirl.
that might also play into the Apple thing that we talked about, because maybe they're expecting more from that, because maybe Disney / Marvel is going to be pushing that in a lot of different ways. Like that's how I see that. I look at that and I see, hey, my employer that I am furloughed from is obviously making moves with them, and they have, you know, things that are coming up. And I know my employer does not half-ass anything, and fucking, they know the ins and outs of everything. So I see that video as, hey, we are going to give you a lot more money, but we don't want Apple to take 30% of it. Like, I don't know. Like, that's how I saw that whole video. I'm like, Disney doesn't want to share their cut. Like, that's 100% how I saw that fucking video. Like, 100 fucking %. I mean, and I've been working for the mouse for 10 years, so love you. Hashtag still furloughed.
For the better.
For the better. Yeah, so I mean, it looks fucking cool. And that's just how I see it. I'm like, that might, to me, that might also weigh into the Apple Epic debate. Honestly, like, if they're bringing in all these other copyrights and things like that into the game moving forward, maybe they said, hey, we don't want Apple getting a percentage. Maybe we don't want these other companies getting a percentage off of Iron Man, off of X-Men, off of, you know, this and that. I don't know. I'm just speculating. That was just my first thought watching it. That's literally just dropped an hour ago, guys. That's literally my first thought looking at it as, you know, somebody who works for the mouse. Yeah, exactly. That's how I see it. Anyways, like I said, we'll probably see more about that in the coming days, I'm sure. Jabba, anybody else in chat, speak now if you have any questions. Forever hold your peace, like I like to say. We'll talk and go around. Of course, Jojo, on a little bit of a hiatus. Do you have a date back yet when people can see you? I have a date in mind, but I don't want to announce it yet, just in case anything changes. But I also want to get like graphics and stuff set up. So. All right. So Jojo, still on vacation, but we love her, and she said that she would co-host. That's perfectly fine. Ryan, when can everybody find you if they want to come and hang out with you officially? You can currently find me every day except from Wednesdays and Saturdays from 6 p.m. to midnight. British time says 1 p.m. Eastern till 7 p.m. Eastern. I love that he converts it for us. That makes me so sad. I try to. I try to be helpful. So. Yeah, so we'll be live later today with the Gamescom thing, and also Tell Me Why. So yeah, it's exciting stuff for the rest of the week. All guys obviously as well at the moment. Awesome. Yeah, that's me on here. You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram as well. Yeah, I've had those showing all night, so you guys can find them there. Ryan Uzumaki TV on Twitch, of course. And then Jojo Says Bree on everything. Of course, KdogAfterDark for everything besides the actual Twitch channel, which is just KdogAfterDark. Everything else is the business link, which is KdogAfterDark Gaming, because one day I might actually, you know, have more people under the label. But right now it's just me under the company. But that being said, thank you everybody for hanging out. Love you long time. Everybody, Jojo, Ryan, wave to YouTube. Wave to podcast or whatever. All right. Ending the recording.